Now, IMRX, we did that as a day trade. Now, if you sold the pop, I mean, I was up huge in the morning, and unfortunately, I sold just a little bit. Then I got back in, and I ended up losing money on IMRX Friday. However, 3.7% on Friday, extending our record high in the trading account because the other 4 picks just absolutely exploded Friday, which was ASTS, PLCE, IWM, and gold, I think, were the other 4, and they all worked out spectacularly. So I was up Friday, even though IMRX didn't work out for me. I understood it worked for at least one person in the community did well selling this pop in the morning. Now, I got back in on a pre-market position here. The stock was to me, the biggest problem here, the biggest issue is potentially they're going to be raising money, right? But fundamentally, this thing is so cheap. I just checked the enterprise value before I came on the show. It's basically zero, right? You get the company for free for this data of basically the best pancreatic cancer data maybe the world's ever seen, all right? The best pancreatic cancer data maybe the world's ever seen. Now, it's only 5 patients, but still, as I put in the chat room on Friday when we were doing the research on this, the gold standard for this drug only cured 1 person out of like 414 numbers or something like that. Actually, in fact, I think I have it at my fingertips here. 431. So this was Bristol Myers Squibb drug, all right? FDA approved trial, 1 patient cured out of 431 patients. Okay, FDA approved the drug on that. That was the MPAC trial back in 2013. At least that's when it was approved. So now the first patient, we go from 1 out of 431 to 1 out of 1. Now there were 5 data, so 1 out of 5. All right. But the second patient, by the way, already 40% reduction in the tumor. Maybe that's heading to a cure too. So, I mean, this is incredible data, relatively speaking, right? If this was a $10 billion company, it'd be like only 5 patients, right? But the fact that it's basically free, enterprise value of free, you can say, hell, that's definitely worth more than free for 5 patients. Again, the only risk being here then, the timing of an offering. There will be an offering. The question is, when will it be? It will be this month, next month. I don't know about that. And but let's say there is an offering, the offering gets out of the way. I think then you definitely buy the stock for sure, or you add on the once the offering's out of the way, because this data is too good to be worth 0. Okay. All right. Good morning, guys. Let me just fix this audio and my speakers. This is crazy. Impromptu. We're starting 40 minutes early. Right? You there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here, Ben. I can hear you perfect.
Change my AV for a second. Okay. All right. You there?
Yep.
All right. Wow. Incredible day. It's 8:20 a.m. Our schedule's being changed up a little bit here. You know, today's the big day for MOB CEO interview. That's going to be 10 a.m. Pre-market prep will be at 9 a.m. It's 8:20 a.m. Why are we here? We're going to be live streaming the webcast of IMRX coming up in just 8-9 minutes. All right. So you'll have to help me with that. Make sure people can hear the audio when I share the tab. But IMRX has worked out exactly as we predicted. We've been pounding the table on IMRX over here the last few weeks. Down here, when the stock dropped, it was probably this day, actually. It was probably on December 19th. There was a catalyst out there that had us pretty sure that the data coming out early January would be excellent. We predicted a move to 220 to 230 before data and a 100% move after positive data. And there it is. We got to move to 220 to 230. I mean, crystal ball trading. We should rename ourselves, Rhett, to crystal ball trading. How about that?
I like it. I like it.
Unbelievable. It's like day after day after day, we are predicting markets to the T. Obviously, you're not always going to be 100% right, and we're not claiming that, but it is uncanny how accurate we've been time after time again. So 100% move on positive pancreatic cancer data. Not a surprise. We put the pieces of the puzzle together. We put that mosaic together. We're confident enough to make it a 4-pillar pick and had a 10% position going in. I've been reminding everyone in the Discord every day, look at my allocations, got 10% in IMRX. It was 8%, 9%, something like that. All right. So in any case, also, we alerted this to Wolf Financial. It was a trade of the week idea last night. Gave it to Wolf Financial. Trade of the week idea at
boom.
36 cents, but we're going to lose because the way that competition is, it goes by the opening price. So we're going to get this big gap open. We're not going to get the 100%, but that's okay. People heard it. They know. We won last week. We won the competition last week on, here we go. What were the picks? Beyond and AMDL, average 19% return, crushing the competition. Paper Gains, Real Pristine Capital, Nick Trangel, Jaguar Analytics. These are all great guys. Michael Naus, Emperador, Jordan, Stock Market News, Wolf Financial. We crushed everybody last week. And then this week, our picks were IMRX and Geo. All right. So, man, I don't have a lot of time to talk. There's a ton of stuff going on. Obviously, we're in FUBU. All right. We're in ARBE. All right. We had NVIDIA event last night. We're going to talk about all of that at 9 a.m. All right. But we're just getting ready. We're just getting ready here to live stream that IMRX webcast. Now, before we do that, let's take a look at the news. All right, let me share my screen here. Let me share a different screen, and we are going to look at this news together. All right, let me just change the background here, guys. All right, so IMRX, look at this. All right. Now, we're in this. We put the piece of the puzzle together because of the pancreatic cancer board they put together recently, because of how they hinted that they would release this data, telling us ahead of time that there's going to be a live virtual event. All right. If it was bad data, they just dump it in a PR. They're not going to tell you, hey, stay tuned for a live virtual event first week of January. So we knew it was going to be good. Beautiful. And we got what we wanted here. Updated data for IMM1. GNP in first-line pancreatic cancer patients show favorable overall response rate, 43%, and disease control rate, 86%. Planning for pivotal trial underway. Favorable initial data of IMM-I-104 in combination with modified MFFX in first-line pancreatic cancer patients show target lesion shrinkage in all evaluable patients, including a 100% reduction. And that's why we're in this stock, because they had a 100% reduction last time. Looks like, I think it's a new patient. I don't think they're saying the guy stayed at 100%. I think this is a new patient, 100% reduction in a different arm. That's what I think it is. Encouraging initial data. And I said, if you watch that video before, Bristol Myers Squibb in all of their trials ever had, and that's the gold standard for pancreatic cancer, had like one patient with a complete response, 100% response, one person out of like 400. All right. Here we get 1 out of 5 in September. and we get 1 out of something over here. We'll find out. Hold on. I don't know how many it was. Let's read. Encouraging initial data for IMM-1-104 monotherapy in second-line pancreatic cancer, including a 67% reduction, demonstrate activity and support development in first-line combinations. Over 75 patients enrolled across all 3 phase 2 pancreatic arms. People are going to like that, right? One of the knocks at that stupid analyst, right? When the analyst downgraded, where like this analyst is just trying to get cheap shares. I don't know if you remember that. I forgot where he was from, what shop he was from. I'm like, this is total bullshit. He's putting it out of downgrade 2 months after the data came out, saying, well, it was only 5 patients. We have to see more data. I'm like, that guy is just trying to get cheap shares. Remember that, Rhett?
I do.
Remember that?
Yeah,
and then we put out a buy alert. We're like, this asshole. We put out a buy alert when he downgraded it. So continued highly differentiated tolerability profile observed. Okay. Now, we only got 4 minutes. I got to get this going. But in any case, I will tell you here in our Discord this morning, I put a buy alert out at $2.50. Yes, I did. Yes, I have the screenshot. I was able to buy shares. Was it $2? Yes, I was able to buy shares at about, I got the pullback. We were fast, man. On this initial pullback right there at like 250, 260, something like that. Gave the alert to the Discord. And here we are 100% later. No surprise. I'm still holding my core position. I sold about 1/3. I added trading shares and sold 1/3 of my new position. At this point, I'm probably 70, 80% of the allocation I had yesterday. Still, okay? We're curing pancreatic cancer, folks. All right, I don't have time to look into the tech. Do we? Really quickly, the technicals. There is some resistance here at 550 for sure that someone was looking at. 570, something like that. But look, market cap is 140, 150 million. And now you have data reinforcing the prior data of pancreatic cancer cure. This thing's cheap, man. They're going to need to raise money, but they might raise money at a very good price. This thing might be up to 300% today. I think that's a possibility, guys. Okay. So let's head on over to this screen. Rhett, if you could go on the front end and make sure people can hear audio as soon as I share this. Hold on. Where would this be? Positive. Is this it? Hold on. Positive phase 2. Okay, this is slides. The audio is on. So they're not even playing audio yet. Okay, so let me just put it here. Share system audio. Okay, so I think we're on the right screen. They're supposed to start in 2 minutes. I don't hear audio yet. So once I hear audio, okay, it says it's on mute. Once I hear audio, Rhett, just go ahead and I'll let you know.
We're supposed to start in 2 minutes.
Got some feedback there.
Oh.
I'm talking about not my audio. I'm the audio coming from this browser. So it hasn't started yet. Let me just.
Yeah, we're all good, Ben. I hear the music.
You hear music? I don't hear music.
Yeah, we hear music. I hear music on my end and also on the live stream.
What? How come I don't hear it?
I don't know. It's like class. Is it like classical music? I don't know. Some sort of music.
Wait a second. I may have to listen on the front end. This is weird. How come I don't hear it?
I have no idea.
Hold on. Let me get on the live stream on X. Wait, I don't even see the live stream. What the heck? Oh god. Okay, here we go. Open live video. All right, I'm gonna have to listen along with you guys on the front. Something going on. Very weird. Why don't I hear the audio myself? All right, let me move this banner. Let me change this. We could do now. IMRX. Cancer cure. IMRX live stream, right? All right. Change that. Make that a scroll across the bottom so it doesn't take away. Got that going. Let me hide us. All right, Rhett, how's it sound?
Yeah, perfect.
I'm going to put myself on mute. We'll listen to this live stream together, and we'll end around 9 a.m. or so to do pre-market prep.
Welcome to the Immuneering conference call to discuss a positive data update from the 3 pancreatic cancer arms of the company's ongoing phase 2A trial of IMM-1-104. At this time, all participants are in listen-only mode. Following management's prepared remarks, we will hold a Q&A session. To ensure that we will have ample time to address everyone's questions, we would ask each person to limit themselves to one question and one follow-up. As a reminder, this call is being recorded today, Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. I would now like to turn the conference call over to Lawrence Watts of New Street Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Operator. Joining us on the call today from Immuneering are Chief Executive Officer Ben Zeskind, Chief Scientific Officer Brett Hall, Chief Accounting Officer and Treasurer Mallory Morales, and E.B. Breakwood, our Chief Business Officer, as well as Dr. Alan Sandler, a consultant to the company. During this call, management will make forward-looking statements, including statements related to its Phase 2A trial of IMM-1-104, as well as the timing of additional data from the study and the company's development plans. Our actual results on the timing of events could differ materially from those anticipated in such forward-looking statements as a result of these risks and uncertainties. Factors that could cause these results to be different from the statements include factors the company describes in our annual report on Form 10-K and our quarterly reports on Form 10-Q. Immuneering undertakes no duty or obligation to update any forward-looking statements as a result of new information, future events, or changes in its expectations. With that, I will turn the call over to Ben Zeskind, Chief Executive Officer of Immuneering. Ben?
Thank you, Lawrence. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining our conference call. We're excited to share with you a positive data update from the 3 pancreatic cancer arms of our ongoing Phase 2A trial of IMM-1-104. Our goal as a company is to help cancer patients live longer and feel better. Too many patients have to choose one or the other, and it shouldn't be that way. I believe today's update demonstrates that we have made substantial progress towards this goal. During today's presentation, I will be making forward-looking statements. For more information regarding these. All data I will be discussing today is as of the December 5th cutoff date, unless otherwise noted. Since we want to help patients live longer, we decided to start with a target that has already been proven to do exactly that, MEK. MEK is part of the RAS-RAF-MEK pathway that drives many different cancers, and when a registered MEK inhibitor is added in combination with a RAF inhibitor for patients with BRAF mutant melanoma, the MEK inhibitor adds about 6 months of survival when compared to the RAF inhibitor alone. So that's a great combination for patients, and it's also good business. If you look at sales of that combination and add in the contributions of the 3 other currently approved MEK inhibitors, it's about $2.4 billion in net sales in 2023. But the currently approved MEK inhibitors aren't perfect. They're limited mainly to patients with BRAF mutant tumors, and there's plenty of room for improvement on tolerability. We set out to build a better MEK inhibitor, one that could help more patients live longer and feel better. And to do that, we're pursuing 2 specific goals. Our first goal is to expand the indications beyond BRAF to also include the large number of patients with tumors driven by RAS and other mutations in this pathway. Our second goal is to improve the tolerability, and that's something that could benefit both the patients with BRAF mutant cancers who already receive MEK inhibitors, as well as patients with cancers driven by RAS and other mutations in the pathway who do not have that option. Based on these goals, we developed a new MEK inhibitor called IMM-1-104 with a very different set of characteristics. And today, Today, we're sharing a substantial update of clinical data that supports the benefits of this approach. Let's start with our goal of expanding indications beyond BRAF to RAS-driven cancers and beyond. Over 90% of pancreatic cancer is RAS mutated, and the number's even higher when you include other mutations that activate this pathway. We are profoundly excited to report that in first-line pancreatic cancer patients who receive IMM-1104 in combination with modified gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel, we continue to see excellent activity with a 43% overall response rate and an 86% disease control rate, both of which compare very favorably to historical benchmarks. These response rates include a confirmed complete response, which is extremely rare in pancreatic cancer. For anyone in oncology, when a site calls and tells you they can't find the cancer anymore, that's an emotional moment. And we can only imagine what it feels like for a patient to receive that news after one scan, let alone multiple scans. Today, we're also sharing initial data from the other two pancreatic cancer arms of our trial. In the IMM-1104 plus modified FOLFIRINOX arm in first-line patients, we have a confirmed partial response with a 100% reduction. That's a second example of target lesions completely disappearing in a patient treated with 104, this time in a patient with a very common KRAS G12D mutation. In monotherapy in second-line pancreatic cancer patients, we have a confirmed partial response with a 67% reduction. Based on the strength of these data, we've started planning a pivotal trial of IMM-1104 plus modified gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel, and we also plan to initiate additional phase 2A combination arms this year. In terms of our second goal of improving tolerability, today we're sharing new safety data where we continue to see a highly differentiated tolerability profile of 104, both alone and in combination with modified gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel. In total, we've now shared safety data from 96 patients. We believe there's a broad potential of IMM-1104 to enable new combinations and replace existing MEK inhibitors in established combinations for patients with a wide variety of tumors driven by BRAF, RAS, or other mutations in this pathway. 104 is by far the best tolerated MEK inhibitor we're aware of. Just as one example of that, we have a patient from the phase 1 portion of our trial who has now been on treatment for 11 months and who has gained nearly 20 pounds. This patient is also showing improved quality of life. This is a third-line pancreatic cancer patient, 2 lines of prior chemotherapies, but now has stable disease with a 25% reduction in target lesions with 104. Not only is this really encouraging progress for that patient, but strong evidence of the durability, activity, and tolerability of 104. So, how is 104 able to yield such different results from prior MEK inhibitors? It's oral, and patients take it once daily, every day. The chemistry of 104 causes the concentration of the drug to quickly hit a higher maximum, or Cmax, than other MEK inhibitors, and then, through a shorter half-life, the concentration quickly drops to a lower minimum, or trough, than other MEK inhibitors. 104 also prevents MEK activation by RAF, something no approved MEK inhibitor does. So basically, 104 is designed to hit the pathway harder or more deeply than other MEK inhibitors, but in a cyclic way that's designed to improve tolerability. We call it deep cyclic inhibition, and it's the key to how we are able to achieve the kind of clinical results we are sharing today. So far, the first 5 arms of our ongoing phase 2A trial are focused on the goal of expanding beyond the indications where MEK inhibitors are already approved into pancreatic cancer, as well as RAS mutant melanoma and lung cancer. Starting with our first arm, using IMM-1104 plus modified gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel in first-line pancreatic cancer, here you can see the historical benchmark ORR from gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel is only 23%, which really highlights the unmet need in this area. And we've received some very encouraging FDA designations for IMM-1104, including orphan drug designation, fast track in first-line and second-line pancreatic cancer, as well as fast track in NRAS mutant melanoma. Overall, our trial has seen a huge uptick in enrollment over the past few months, with over 75 pancreatic cancer patients enrolled across all 3 arms as of the data cutoff date. Pancreatic cancer has an extremely low 5-year survival rate, and there are few treatment options, and those options aren't very good, and hence first-line pancreatic cancer patients face a difficult choice. They essentially live longer or feel better. It's an or, not an and, for the 2 categories of therapy that are currently most commonly used in the first line. FOLFIRINOX and related treatments do a bit better than gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel on efficacy, but they're worse on tolerability. Whereas for gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel and related treatments, you see a bit of a decrease in efficacy, but an improvement in tolerability. With 104 plus modified gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel, we aim to give patients a better option. They shouldn't have to choose between activity and tolerability. They should be able to live longer and feel better, and that's our goal. And I believe the data I'm going to share with you today shows we're making substantial progress toward that goal. To put some numbers behind the symbols on the previous page, these are the overall response rates, disease control rates, complete response rates, and survival data for the 2 current standards of care. Either way, it's tough. For gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel, you're looking at a 23% ORR, but some improvement in the neutropenia, the fatigue, and the diarrhea compared to FOLFIRINOX. Again, our goal is to give patients a better option. Today, I'm delighted to share that we have a 43% overall response rate for patients responding to IMM-1104 plus modified gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel, including a complete response with 100% regression. I'll note that both of the partial responses are confirmed across multiple scans, as is the complete response. The other thing we find very encouraging is that all the patients shown in the waterfall plot have reductions in their sum of longest diameters. Given the historical benchmark of about 50% disease control rate, you would expect a left half of this waterfall plot, if you will, and we're just not seeing that here, which is very, very, very encouraging. We believe this shows IMM-1104's potential in combination to really offer better efficacy in that first-line setting. It also has the potential to offer better tolerability. This table shows the treatment emergent adverse events for the combination that are observed in at least 10% of patients. You can see no grade 4 events. You can count on one hand the number of grade 3s in any category and also see a modest number of grade 2s and grade 1s. Importantly, there were no serious adverse events related to obvious. Some of these specific adverse events are associated with the gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel part of the combination. With regard to grade 3 or grade 4 neutropenia, we're only seeing 10%, no grade 3 to 4 fatigue, and 5% diarrhea. So when you combine that excellent safety profile with the 43% ORR, 86% disease control rate, and 14% complete response rate that we're reporting together, altogether, what we're reporting today compares very favorably to the historical precedent for the current first-line standard of care agents. Our goal is to give patients a better option where they can have better efficacy and better safety. And as a result, they can live longer and feel better. And we believe if these data trends continue, we have a clear path to registration with this combination. We have started planning for a pivotal trial, which I will talk about more in a few minutes. And we're not the only ones. Our KOLs feel the same way. The quote on this page is from Tony Saab, who's an investigator for the trial, and of course a legend in the pancreatic cancer space at the Mayo Clinic. This is what he had to say about the data. Very promising. If these trends continue, this combination may provide improved efficacy and tolerability versus gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel in first-line pancreatic cancer. And he also speaks to the broader potential for IMM-1104 by saying, having a MEK inhibitor that appears to be as well tolerated as IMM-1104 may provide new opportunities for patients with different types of cancer. We also have 3 other excellent members of our pancreatic cancer SAB who are similarly enthusiastic about IMM-1104 and particularly this combination for pancreatic cancer. Let's move on to the second arm now, because we're also very encouraged by what we're seeing there in first-line patients in combination with modified FOLFIRINOX. In our combination of IMM-1104 with modified FOLFIRINOX, we're seeing encouraging initial data, including a 100% reduction. And the only reason that response is designated a partial response and not a complete response is that there is one lymph node that remains. We're also very encouraged by the CA19-9 data for that patient, which is a blood-based biomarker of pancreatic cancer progression, which has dropped dramatically, and that patient remains on treatment. We find it very encouraging that all of these evaluable patients have their lesions shrinking. Specifically, we think the 100% reduction we're seeing in this combination with modified FOLFIRINOX helps to corroborate the complete response that we saw in the combination arm with modified gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel. Turning to the third arm in our update, let's look at IMM-1104 as monotherapy in second-line pancreatic cancer. Now here the benchmark for gemcitabine is 3% in second-line pancreatic cancer patients previously treated with FOLFIRINOX, like most of our second-line patients. And in light of that, and for many other reasons, we're very encouraged by what we're seeing here. Currently, we're seeing a 5% overall response rate, including one deep regression, which is a confirmed partial response with a 67% SLD reduction, and a disease control rate of 52%. We're very encouraged that so many of the patients have shrinking lesions on IMM-1104 monotherapy and are continuing on treatment across a variety of different RAS mutations. In summary, we're extremely pleased by this initial data in terms of activity, but also in terms of tolerability, which I will now turn to. We have 21 patients worth of tolerability data in this arm. Note that this table shows the treatment-related adverse events observed in at least 10% of patients. Put simply, IMM-1104 is very well tolerated. There are no grade 3 or 4 events in the table, 1 or 2 grade 2s in each category, and then a few grade 1s. What I believe we're looking at then is highly differentiated tolerability relative to anything that's been seen before for a MEK inhibitor. And that therefore sets up IMM-1104 as a highly suitable candidate for both monotherapy and combination therapy. Given what we're seeing so far, and given that suitability for combination therapy, we're now planning 3 additional arms for our phase 2A trial. This year, we plan to initiate an arm treating patients with IMM-1104 plus a RAF inhibitor in BRAF mutant melanoma, similar to that approved combination that I referenced earlier, as well as melanoma and lung cancer respectively, where we plan to utilize IMM-1104 in combination with an anti-PD-1. Importantly, we are also receiving inbound requests for investigator-initiated trials. Investigators are hearing that there's finally a MEK inhibitor that's well tolerated and have come to us with ideas to further expand the impact. As I mentioned earlier, based on the success we've seen thus far in the combination of IMM-1104 with modified gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel in the first-line setting, we are planning for a prospective global phase 3 trial with patients randomized between IMM-1104 plus modified gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel and the standard of care gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel in a first-line setting with typical endpoints for a pivotal oncology trial. Of course, this is all subject to change and based on the ongoing phase 2A results and subsequent regulatory feedback. But it's important to note that if trends continue, we believe we have a clear path forward to registration for this combination. So to wrap things up, our goal of expanding the indications for MEK inhibitor use continues, strengthened by the promising results we've shown you today, which have included responses across all 3 pancreatic arms and a highly favorable 43% ORR and 86% DCR in our combination with modified gemcitabine nab-paclitaxel. Looking to the year ahead, we expect to share additional phase 2A data in the second quarter, which should provide further guidance for our prospective pivotal trial, the planning for which is underway. In addition, we plan to initiate 3 additional phase 2A combination arms during the year. In terms of improving the tolerability profile for treatments where MEK inhibitors are already in use, we're delighted to have amassed a safety database for IMM-1104, both alone and in combination, of 96 patients. This excellent tolerability profile that is the best any of us have ever seen speaks to the broad potential of IMM-1104 to be combined with many BRAF and RAS mutant cancers, representing significant upside for shareholders in terms of the prospective unmet needs that IMM-1104 could address. As a reminder, MEK inhibitors are already a very impactful class of therapies, helping patients live longer and driving $2.4 billion in sales. We believe the clinical data we've shared today shows IMM-1104's potential to do much better. Or, as one of our clinical investigators asked, is this the MEK inhibitor we've been waiting for? And with that, we're happy to take questions. Operator.
Thank you. As a reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, please press star and the number 1 on your telephone keypad. But also like to remind you to please
All right, guys.
limit yourself to 1 question and 1
We'll
follow-up.
hang on for 1 or 2 questions. We can't say for the whole thing.
Thank you.
So let's see what those first 1 or 2 questions look like. But this is looking great.
with the
I
first
added more
question-
while he was talking.
That question comes from the line of Jay Olson from Oppenheimer. Your line is open.
Oh, hey, congrats on these really encouraging results, and thank you for providing this update. Can you talk about the number of patients you're planning to enroll in the 2 combination arms in first-line PDAC? I think you may have previously mentioned a number of 30 per cohort, but we were wondering if you were planning to expand the number before starting the pivotal study. And then we had a follow-up question, if we could.
Hey, Jay. Great speaking with you, and thanks for the question. You're right. So the targets for each of those combination arms are about 30 patients each, and so that's those are the targets that we're working with currently, and so we're really excited that we're already seeing a 43% ORR that's really dramatically higher than the benchmark that you would expect. The fact that the entire waterfall plot is pointing down is just really encouraging. It's highly consistent. The fact that across all 3 of the pancreatic cancer arms, we're seeing these clear activity, deep, profound regressions, and all that with just incredible tolerability. So we're excited with the data we have today.
Excellent, super helpful.
And you had a follow-up question?
Yeah, just as a follow-up, can you talk about your current thinking on the pivotal study, the timeline to starting the study, and are you planning to run the study independently?
Yeah, great question, Jay. And the data we have here clearly supports the pivotal study and the planning that we're doing for that. So with that's subject to regulatory authority feedback and the continuing data. But our goal is to start the study by the end of this year. So that's the goal, or early next year. But if things continue as they are, we think we can go very, very quickly towards the pivotal study, and we're excited to do that. Just given how differentiated these data are, relative to the current options available for first-line pancreatic cancer patients. I mean, it's really a tough choice for them between the currently available options. So for us to be able to come in with an option that has a much higher overall response rate, we're seeing a higher rate of complete response in target lesions, to have another 100% regression, and then to do all that with such good tolerability, we believe it's kind of full speed ahead towards a pivotal trial.
Great, super helpful. Congrats again on these really impressive results, and thanks so much for taking the questions.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Allison Bratzel from Piper Sandler. Your line's open.
Hi, good morning, team.
Okay,
and
I think we're going to stop it there, guys.
Thanks for taking my question. Maybe just one on, potential dose
Let's listen to
response.
Pipe.
Would you say you're seeing much in the way of a dose response for 104, on tolerability and efficacy between the 240 and the 320 mg doses? I guess it's a little hard to see one just now, but obviously it's limited data, and be interested in your take. And then on a related note, could you also talk to whether you're seeing a deepening of response over time? Just wondering if some of those patients with stable disease and only a couple scans might, eventually get closer to response. Thanks.
Hey, Allison, thanks. Great questions. And you're absolutely right. I mean, if you look at the waterfall plot on slide 7, this is colored by dose, right? So you can see, many of these patients are from the safety lead-in at 240, which makes the data, frankly, all the more exciting, right? To see such good responses at 240, and then we're have some initial patients at 320 is very encouraging as well. So we're exploring both doses, given just how profoundly strong the response is, even at 240. So in terms of activity, looking great at 240 and continuing to look great as we add in those 320 milligram patients. And as for the tolerability, there's not substantial differences. When we look at the monotherapy from phase 1, there's maybe slight differences between the two, but it's not dramatic. And either way, it's just incredible tolerability, whether it's 240 or 320. It's dramatically better tolerability than any MEK inhibitor any of us have seen before. So that combination is great. The combination of this just highly differentiated tolerability and then the strong response. In terms of the durability question, you're absolutely right. We've seen patients who have been 8% on a first scan, 10% reduction of lesions on a second scan, and then they drop down to 40%, for a partial response. So absolutely. I guess as another example of that, in the modified FOLFIRINOX arm, the patient with the 100% regression, I believe that occurred on a second scan, right? So the first, and then was confirmed on a subsequent scan. But so that's another example where we absolutely do see deepening responses over time, and that's why we're so encouraged, really across all three of these arms, that there's so many patients staying, remaining on treatment and continuing. So it really, we're excited to see how things progress for those patients as they continue on treatment, and they're able to continue on treatment because the tolerability is so good, and that's certainly a big part of it.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you.
You there, Ben? Nope.
Oh,
Can't hear
okay.
you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're back.
All right. Great. Let me just set up let's share stock screen 1 second. All right. So that was IMRX working out exactly as we predicted. Okay. So it's story trading. We like to understand the story behind the trade. We want to know what we're trading, not only what we're investing, but even trades, because that's what gives us conviction We're not pure technical traders. We want to understand the catalyst. We want to understand the impact of that catalyst on sentiment and the impact of the catalyst on fundamentals. IMRX, we've been pounding the table on IMRX, made an official 4-pillar pick down here at like 160 with a 220 to 230 target before data, and a 100% plus move is what we predicted if they get another complete response, and that's what they got. They got another complete response, so up. Now it's up 90%, but it was up over 100% at one point. In our Discord, we gave the alert, showed the screenshot when I bought this at $2.65 down here, around 260, something like that. So look, I have to tell you, I sold 1/3 of my position today on these pops. I think I'm leaving the rest for a possible 200 to 300% move on this stock. We're up 89%. Market cap here is, I guess, $140, $150 million. The risk is they will need to raise money. All right. They will need to raise money. Wouldn't be surprised if that comes out today after the close or tomorrow or something like that. But this is really, really good data. The fact that they were able to replicate and get another complete response since that September data is, very, very favorable. Now they're starting to plan a global phase 3 trial. So, when you look at their data, who is it again? It was Bristol Myers Squibb. Only one complete response they got out of like over 400 patients. They already have 2 complete responses, which with much, much fewer patients. This is, to me, worth more. Just on that alone, it's worth more than 150 million market cap, which is roughly where we are around now. All right, let's move into pre-market prep. Rhett, just if you can update that title down there, that banner. I'm going to reset the show a little bit, do a little countdown, and then we'll get into our traditional pre-market prep. Are you guys ready? We'll give you 30 seconds. All right, well. All right. So what a crazy day today. Another new record high going to be for our trading account. Probably be up 50 to 60% year to date in just 4 days. Up well over 2,000% in 3 months in our official trade account. Everything just clicking, working great. There's lots of catalysts out there, lots of news. Now we have an mob CEO interview here, 10 a.m. We're going to have a special extended show here, pre-market prep between now and 9:30 a.m. Live trading, 10 a.m. CEO of Mob. So stay tuned for that. Rhett, put that banner up. Let people know what the schedule is up there with the 9:30 and 10 a.m. schedule. So last night, obviously, we had the NVIDIA presentation by Jensen at CES. So a lot of people talking about that. Let me give my 2 cents on that first, and then we'll head into all these other individual stocks and things. Look, my 2, maybe 3 big takeaways from NVIDIA. First of all, maybe 4. I mean, this is going to be a $10 trillion company. I was blown away, like how they're expanding into other areas that I just didn't think of. I added. Now we're all-time new highs, gapping into all-time new highs into my long-term IRA at these all-time new highs. I added NVIDIA, and guess where I took it from, guys? Made a reduction in Tesla. Let's go. Where's Tesla? And I'll tell you why I reduced Tesla. Where's my Tesla stock? Let me just, NVIDIA should have been next to Tesla. What's going on? All right, Tesla. Throw Tesla in here. All right, Tesla down 1.73%, and I'm actually not so surprised. I have to wonder here if we are seeing some money rotating out of Tesla into NVIDIA. Look, the whole reason why I made Tesla my largest position after the election, 288, we forecasted this, predicted this big rise to these levels, 450 to 500. took some off the table this morning, rotated into NVIDIA, because the whole thesis was the full, self-drive and the autonomous driving, and that Tesla, I was thinking that like Tesla is the de facto leader in that. And, and the Trump administration would help pave the path for that. So, once that's fully FSD, unsupervised FSD, that could be some hockey stick growth. Who knows what they can do in terms of, I don't know, selling the software, although I'm not sure if that would be possible with the hardware. I don't know. But when I heard that NVIDIA last night, I'm like, holy crap, like NVIDIA might make, Tesla's not going to be you can't assume they'll be the de facto leader. All these other car companies now partnering with NVIDIA with their AI to do autonomous driving. And again, the autonomous driving was my thesis for Tesla. So if I was willing to own so much Tesla because of that, I better own some NVIDIA. So I rotated some Tesla into NVIDIA in my long-term account this morning. It looks like I'm not the only one doing that. It's down 1.86%. And I am a little bit worried. This move may just be getting started. We may see a bigger move in both directions, right? So we have Tesla, and my list is, where is my NVIDIA now? Man, there's so many stocks to talk about. Everything's buried. I'm in recently viewed. That's why I'm not in my top list. Okay, here we go. All right, that makes more sense. So, okay, I think these moves might be continue, right? I think NVIDIA might keep on going higher, much higher than 2.6% today. And I think Tesla might keep going down much lower than 1.88%. You can actually see this here. You can see they're like mirror imaging each other in a way. So I think you're seeing this rotation. That's my read on this from the event last night. So that was one of the big takeaways. Okay, possible rotation out of Tesla into NVIDIA. Next, NVIDIA is going to be a $10 trillion market cap company one day. Next, autonomous driving and robotics, right? Those areas are really going to be doing well. Last night, we were talking about which stocks can do good with that autonomous driving. Two of the stocks that I suggested last night was INVZ, which is up 29%. We're already in it. And ARBE, up 22%. So let's move these up towards the top. So, man, we are like on fire this morning. So INVZ comes out with a press release this morning. They are working with NVIDIA on NVIDIA. There it is. Innoviz in collaboration with NVIDIA, showcasing cutting-edge perception software with NVIDIA Drive AGX Oren at CES 2025. Okay, so we were already in a position in INVZ. I was in a swing account, not in the trade account. I actually bought trade shares here around 240. I think I bought some at 250, average down at 237. My average is maybe 242. All right. So INVZ, and the other one, other beneficiary, ARBE, which had that news from NVIDIA yesterday. Hold on a second. Let's go to the chart. That's a better chart. Look at that. We held this overnight. A great tip from the Godfather to try ARBE warrants. All right. This on why those warrants were an awesome risk reward. Check out the warrants now, up 32% in pre-market. So we were swinging in our community ARBE and ARBE warrants into today. And I just look at this and I'm like, you know what? We got to finish this show. I mean, I'll be on, but I got to finish my speech here before 9:30 because I think I want to make a further rotation out of Tesla into NVIDIA. As I'm talking, I just convinced myself that I should do that more aggressively. So anyway, that's the story on Tesla and NVIDIA. All right, you got the story on INVZ and ARBE, both looking good. You got the story on IMRX. We are kicking ass today, aren't we? AEHR at a little bit, 1790, already in this position. Pretty big position in my swing and long-term account. Smaller position at this point in our day trading account because that day trading account, day/swing trading account was in options. We have earnings on Monday on AEHR, and we got a big move already on that January effect. So we already took some big profits, have a small position, but I added some common shares here at 1790 on this news of winning another multi-year contract for automotive. I think this time it was a different technology, though. Was it gallium nitride, I think it was. So that potentially opens up a whole new area for air. All right, so added some on that news. Quick Logic, which Undefined Mystic, I believe his name, has been pushing. Company I've been familiar with for a long time. I've invested in it long term in the past. Definitely a good company. Out with some news here that they are exploring strategic options. They want to sell basically their non-core assets to focus on their core space technology area. So that's a bullish some information there that can get this stock going. I picked up a little bit at 1190. I just haven't had time. I would have picked up more maybe, but I'm busy. All right, got a lot of other things going on. All right, Fubo, we're looking for continuation. Yesterday, this was our biggest winner. How beautiful. What a winner. All right, Fubo, with the help of the Godfather, who's an analyst in our Discord community. Make sure to follow him at S Mantel, by the way, SMANTEL. All right, he did some math on this, and he's like, man, with this deal with Disney, Fubo is worth $10 plus. Wedbush comes out this morning. I think some people, here we go. Here's some other ones. Wedbush comes out, I think, with a $6 target. Where is it? Do you remember what I put in the I think it's not showing here. I don't know. I think it was like a $6.50 target or something like that. You can see some other targets here. Roth MKM moving from 2 to 475. So some of these price targets I think are lower than some people expected. When they started coming out this morning, the stock pulled back. I think this whole move here was after the Wedbush came out. But in any case, we still own some of this also for the long-term, added to my long-term account based on the math and that research that Godfather did, that this could now be worth $10 plus with the deal with Disney, taking them a cash flow positive. All right, MOB. Look, that was supposed to be the whole story for today, and it will still be. They even had news today. So we're interviewing the CEO at 10 a.m. That's why a lot of you are here. All right, we are Drone Central. We were first to RCAT, first to UMAC, first to OPTT. And man, when I say first, I mean first, all right? Especially with the help of the Godfather on RCAT from under $2 to like $13. UMAC, all right, I nailed that one from $5 to $20. OPTT, we found that one at 16 cents. Now it's $1.50. All right, these crazy moves. We've been all over the drone theme. We got into MOB early at $2.50. Well, you know what? Last night on the show, it is true. We found it over this weekend, but it gapped, right? So I was talking on Wolf Financial Spaces, not last night, yesterday afternoon on the microcap show, small cap show. We were talking about when we discovered MOB. And yes, it was this weekend. This was a Friday. So yeah, the last trade was 189 when we alerted about this, but I couldn't get into like $2.40 the next morning. So any case, this stock, we've been in it since 250. And I keep on saying, and I still think, and I cannot wait to talk to the CEO, Oren Elkayam, shortly here at 10 a.m. I got an awesome list of questions for him. And this looks like it could be the most undervalued drone stock, still, in my opinion, undiscovered. And they had a contract win this morning, $600,000. Not huge, all right? I'd like to see multi-million-dollar contracts, but $600,000 follow-on production scale order from a major U.S. drone manufacturer. So, all right, looking forward to that. Again, that was going to be the story of the day. Here's another story of the day. NARI gets bought out, all right? We saw the rumor yesterday, and I advised for people to jump on the $60 call options, which I did, and they will be up 400% today, all right? So $60 call options for like, I don't know, it was like $3. Going to open at like $18 or something like that. So congrats for those who followed me on NARI. And I'm going to suggest that VKTX can start really heating up after now. Now people think, okay, we are in biotech buyout season. Let the rumor mill begin. That's why we've been in VKTX, along with some other factors that made it a January effect pick. All right, but VKTX could get going. Top goal. Hold on, I just see something. It's Top Golf. I'm checking my so many. I can't even check my million notifications now. Okay, I don't know. All right, Rhett. Which one was the golf company we're in? What's it called? Trug, right?
Trug. Yeah, it is Trug.
That's not Top Golf, right? That's different.
No, that's not.
All right, that's True Golf. All right, there was some news on Top Golf that just came out. Okay, so let's see. Right, let's keep going. MOB, so Nari, big winner there. Micron, another one that I feel I should be adding to my IRA. In fact, you know what? As I was saying earlier, I talked myself into, you know what? Let me take a moment to make some little adjustments. Let me see to my retirement account if I can here. All Just 1 second, guys. I got to do this. Got to take care of myself too here. If I'm talking all the time, then I miss some opportunities. So let me see where I'm at here in this particular retirement account. At 9% Tesla, and how much Nvidia? 4% Nvidia. I think I'm gonna make a change here. All right, I'm gonna rotate a little bit more. See, I'd also like to pick up some MU, but let's see. How's this work? We go. Let me sell a little bit of Tesla here. All right, and we're going to add more Nvidia and let's see here. What would that look like? It's and I think I'm going to add some Micron here as well. So let's make that change here. All right, and we're going to go to Micron. I should have picked this up. Micron. I was so bullish on this all last year about the memory theme with AI, and I just didn't stick with it. So now I got to pay up a little bit. Okay, so let's see if I can pay up here on Micron. Do I have enough money? I didn't sell enough Tesla. Hold on. All right, picked up some Micron over there. And let's see if I have some cash in this other. No, okay. So now let's look at what we got here in the retirement account. All right, so now we got Tesla at 7.5%, Nvidia at 6%. That's better. All right, and then we got Air at 5%. Even got Mob at 5% in my retirement account. That's how good I feel about the valuation there. But see here. Oh, we got Snowflake is going to be a good one, guys. Snowflake, after last night's news, I think Snowflake will benefit. Where didn't I just buy MU? There it is. No. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I got more work to do. I can't do it all now, but I got to buy more MU. All right. So in any case, Rhett, what did I miss? I'm sure I missed a lot of news. What's been going on our Discord in the last 15 minutes? Anything I need to be aware of?
Nothing. Just sold some ARBE. Put that screenshot out there. Made 20%. So that was nice.
ARBE. You know what? Let me take some profits on ARBE. I got a fairly large position. I do, yeah, that I swung into today.
Yeah, I did the same.
Let me sell half of that trading position right here at $4.82. If you guys don't front run me, and did that go through? Let's see. Yeah, okay. So I sold half of my ARBE, holding on to the ARBE warrants. However, let me actually.
We also got a 8K form. So on MBOT.
Oh, MBOT. What did the 8K say?
They had entered in securities purchase agreement with institutional investors to conduct a registration directing offering of 4 million shares of common shares at a price of $1.75, raising approximately $7 million before fees. Additionally,
what's Godfather say about that?
If
he likes it, I'll buy it. He liked it yesterday. I don't know with this news. We got a big seller at 28,275. But in any case, we're starting to get into trading.
That was yesterday. Okay. Old news.
Okay, let's here's INVZ. Hold on. I bought some INVZ this morning right before the show. Let's see if I can take some INVZ profits. INVZ. Oh, but I didn't buy a ton. Okay, I'm just going to sell half of the INVZ here. Half of that INVZ. We had a really nice entry about 20 minutes ago. All right, and that's a good one to trade. I think you can buy the dips in INVZ today. Okay, so now where does that leave us? Okay. All right, so let's try to order these and do some top picks for the day if we can here. Wow, a lot going on, huh? So we got Fubo as well. We're going to take our profits on Nari. No rush to do that. Can do that later. That's going to be stable at $79 with an $80 buyout. So as far as today, it's hard to say buy anything right this second or buy it at the open, right? We're in these early. We got into that INVZ early. We got into IMRX early. So I think it's pulling back now, but I think we're going to be going back up. Look at this nice support here at 375, is it? 373. What is this candle here? 397. It's trying to hold this 4, but there's a nice support at 370. Okay. So I think I'm gonna put IMRX in the top 5 today. Okay. Still, because of the potential of a 200 to 300% move. Let's see. We're going to maybe air. Let's see. Maybe the thing is a lot. Okay, so maybe air, then INVZ and ARBE. Okay, maybe quick. Oh, but we love Fubo. Oh, and MOB. Gotta go MOB. Okay, so let's see. All right, now I'm starting to like that. VKTX, we're just gonna swing that. So I'm not gonna put a day trade idea on this. We're swinging this for the whole month of January, waiting for those buyout rumors to come. All right, so now this is looking a little bit better. I'm not scared of this pullback, by the way. If it drops to like 370, I may have to take another pause and buy some shares. So IMRX, MOB, AHR, INVZ, ARBE, Fubo, okay, quick. These are the stocks that I think, let's just call them in play today, right? From the smaller caps, right? I love that. Let me just look at the big caps AI for a second. Because, also NBIS. Oh, how can I forget The Godfather? I apologize. NBIS. Okay, we love that one. We're in it kind of big. All right. Godfather did the fundamental work, and I'm really liking the technicals on it now. Yesterday, when it crossed that 20 DMA, and now we have NVIDIA. That's going to be a tailwind for it. I think I told you guys 34 to like 34. All right. So we're 32, 38. So, okay, we got to put NBIS in the top 5 today, Rhett. So it's 9:22 a.m. Now, normally what we do, are you still swinging Trug? Yes, I'm still swinging Trug. Gonna have to make these. All right. So we'll dig into the levels a little deeper with IMRX. But, okay, so IMRX, NBIS, MOB, Air, INVZ, ARBE, Fubo. Okay, forget about quick. It's not liquid enough. If you want it, buy it for your long term. I was thinking of actually buying this in my retirement account, just holding it. All right, so good stock. But yeah, these other ones are more liquid. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rhett, out of these 7 stocks, Fubo, ARB, INVZ, Air, MOB, NBIS, and IMRX. What's your favorite one? Give me an idea how you'd rank the top 2 or 3.
I'm going to have to go with The Godfather on this one. My favorite one out of all these is going to be NBIS. There
you go. NBIS looking beautiful, right? So we are already in this in a good size, both common shares and options. So that's looking nice, NBIS. Any other thoughts? What do you like second?
IMRX, I'd like the dips being bought. So really like that play. I'm okay. Agreeing with you on that one. Really like that.
INVZ has a lot of liquidity, and these dips are being bought. Okay, put that above Air. Look, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So I don't want to slim these down. All right. We'll have 7 to look at. NBIS, IMRX, MOB. Let me move MOB down. Okay. MOB's been like a swing long-term trade basically for a couple months. So let's just, that's going to be, let's see what the CEO says. Okay. I don't know what he's going to say. He doesn't know what my questions are. I don't know what his answers are. And I've been telling people, depending on what he says, I may decide to, slim down or buy more. So, all right. So it's probably going to do well today, at least in the first half of the day, because of the contract award they got and because some anticipation of our interview. So, probably belongs in the top of the list here today. But in any case, look at this. Oh, this is beautiful.
I'm kind of liking how the list is coming together right now.
Yeah, this list is just gorgeous. Yeah. All right. Look at ARBE now
Yeah.
moving. Just sold half, but I got the warrants. All right. Oh wow, this is beautiful. It's 9:25 a.m. Let me just check.
Yeah, like someone was saying, those calls are going to be in the money.
Oh my God, look at ARBE now. Woo! Oh, why did I sell half? Okay. All right, let's see. I'm trying to figure something out here. Oh, I see. I got a lot of shares of IMRX actually. I bought some dips. Let's see. That's IMRX here at 383. So that's nice, dude. Our stats are gonna be off the hook, man. Wait till you see the P&L for the first 5 days of the year, Rhett, and our returns. This is insane. We've been making a drive. We started this trading account 3 months ago, exactly 3 months ago now. Today's the first day of the fourth month. $18,000, or a touch under 18, 17,000 and change. We are probably now at the open. We'll probably be at like 382,000, from a little under 18 to about 382,000 in 3 months. It's been awesome.
Crazy returns.
I'm not getting rich from it. It's not really my money. I'm managing it. You know, it's all kinds of debt for a company that I partially own that I got to pay back from a dating site that was making me money for like 20 years, and COVID died, and then we got into a ton of debt. So I got to pay off that debt. But in any case.
Alrighty, so are we locking these picks in? MBIS,
awesome.
IMRX, INVZ, AIR?
Lock it in.
Awesome.
All right. Yeah, look at that MBIS run. This is going to be crazy. All right, so what is a key support? Okay, people are asking me IMRX. Okay, so I like this level here, 375 to 380 level. I think that's a great support area. All right, earlier today I'd mentioned that 383, very important area. Actually, it's 383. Remember that concept I've always mentioned? It's 383. It's beautiful. All right, this works out so often. So in the way I do technical analysis, you got to understand the catalysts and the fundamentals, though. If this stock was worth up to 383 before this news, replicating a cancer cure for pancreatic cancer, isn't it worth at least 383 today after this news? Okay, I use this concept a lot, and it serves me very, very well. So that's a support level right there, right around 383. You don't take these things literally or to the penny. And we're also not technical traders. We're not price action. We use these technicals as a guide for risk reward, right? So it's cheaper and better and nicer to get the stock here. See, it didn't hold 383 to the penny, right? This was the other level. It was this right here, 373. Okay, so 373 to 383 right there. That's a support area. Doesn't mean if it goes below 373, the thesis is invalidated. That's what technical traders do. No, we look at the catalyst and the fundamentals, and I think this thing is potentially worth 100% higher from here. This could be, $5, $6, $7, right? So I'm not going to get shaken out on the price going down. I will get shaken out if someone convinces me my thesis is wrong, right? Then you miss something. Look at this, look at that. My thesis is wrong. Then I'll take a loss. All right. But I'm not going to take a loss on price action. This is just a guide that it's better to buy it at 370, 380 at that technical support than it is to buy it at 455. All right. That's how we look at technicals. So we use technicals, but we don't do stop losses here. All right. So unless you're trading something you don't know, which I do sometimes, I probably shouldn't, but I just can't help it. During the day, sometimes trade something you don't know, and then I'll do stop losses. But you don't make big money that way. You make big money by understanding the story, digging into the catalyst. That's what we did. We listened to that live stream on IMRX here with you guys as we're getting set to open. I'm not looking to make any trades right at the open, so we'll just talk here.
Yeah, sit back, watch how the market opens.
Yeah, look at this ARBE. But yeah, and that's why we're doing the interview with the mob CEO at 10 a.m. All right. This is story trading, where we understand the price action. All right. We start with the catalyst, we interpret the impact on fundamentals and sentiment, and then we look at the technicals for our trade plan. So here we go, 9:29 a.m. and my account is going to be rocking right at the open. I would say out of out of all of these, whatever, I'm not going to talk anymore. Let's see what happens. All right. So we got until 10 a.m. Let's see if we see any opportunities. Now, here we go, an INVZ. Oh, wow. Look at INVZ. Really taking off. Wow. What do you look at that? All right. Woo-hoo. Why did I sell half, right? IMRX going the wrong direction for now, but I'm not worried. Let's see where the next support might be. Like 340 maybe, but I'm not worried about that at all. What I think I will do is sell some INVZ and see if I can buy a dip. All right. 305. All right, let's see. INVZ. INVZ. You know what? Wow, look at this. What do you look at this?
I may pick up some.
I'm gonna go all out INVZ for now. I have long-term shares in INVZ in my retirement account. Not selling those. I just sold my trading shares here at I don't know what price. All right. So what did I sell them at? 305. All right. Sold some trading shares at 305. Fubo. Okay. Mob is fine. I'm not really gonna do anything unless you guys like run it to like 6 before the interview. Then I'll sell some. But otherwise, I'm just waiting for the interview. Okay. NBIS looking great. Let me see if I have NBIS call options. NBIS. Oh yeah, I have some call options. I think I might hold those. Oh, I thought I had more common shares. Don't have a ton of common shares of NBIS actually. Thought I had more. Okay. There's what it is. Not gonna add. Air looking good. Nice little rebound over there. ARBE, that half we sold, gives us an opportunity to buy back lower.
Yes,
Fubo
it
looking
does.
good.
I'd like to see IMRX come down to 330.
Oh, Nari. I guess let me sell my call options in Nari now. Up 380%. So let me take a. Actually, let me just sell 4 of them. Some arbitrage. Some. Let's see. Let's see if I can sell this at 19. Okay, cool. So let me get you a screenshot of our Nari win. That was beautiful. Oh, is BB exploding? I just got a alert. I added BB. We talked about inner community. Few people really bullish on BlackBerry. Added to a swing. Look at NBIS just exploding.
Yeah. Number 1 pick of the day, baby.
Nari. Oh, it's not even showing the. I hate Fidelity. I'll get you a screenshot later on that, but it was about 400% on NARI.
Awesome.
Okay, NBIS looking great. I actually hope IMRX keeps going down. Tell you the truth, lower it goes, it might get to a point here where I might do a 20% position or something. I might consider that in my trade account if we get real low. So I'm waiting. Look at this RSI starting to get oversold on the 1 minute, 5 minute. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, market's coming down a little bit right now.
I'm trying to find an entry here on IMRX. I think I'm going to catch a falling knife here on IMRX. I'm going to start adding on IMRX right here. No technical signal, just lots of red candles. If I see lots of red candles on news I like, I'm just going to start averaging in. So
yeah, like that. It's bouncing off that level I had marked, so that's a plus.
All right, so added some IMRX right there.
I'm going to follow you on that one.
Nice sales on INVZ up there. Air looking great. We're in call options as well. Fubo, we're just going to hold that. We got much higher targets. MOB looking glorious. And NVIDIA and Tesla moderating, actually. rather than accelerating the pre-market move, which is what I mentioned could happen this morning. But that could happen by the end of the day. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, I didn't get a chance to. Whoa, low. TMDX hits my target, baby. TMDX, what do I have left? I got 10 call options left, and they're up over 1,000% now. Woohoo! All right, I got to take some profits on TMDX calls up. 1,500%. 1,500% on TMDX calls right now. All right, let me sell just 2 of them here. I got in at 40 cents. January effect trade. Let's see if I can sell some at $6.40 here. 1,500% move. It's hit our target. Our target was, it's exceeded the target. 50-day moving average. It's over the 50-day moving average. Okay. Wow. I also have this. We added it to my long-term account too. Look at the RSI is still actually not overbought on the daily, not overbought at all, still oversold on the weekly. So I'm not chomping at the bit to sell my whole call position here. I got 8 calls left. I had like 30, 40 at one point. Now down to 2 calls left on TMDX, plus nice common share position in my retirement account. All right, so Fubo looking good. We're waiting for IMRX to rebound. It will. I really think it will. And, you know, I have to tell you, I'm even prepared on this one. If they're sending this down first because of an offering, an expected offering, or if we get an offering after the close or something and it goes down, I would buy more on that. I gave you that game plan back in September if that happens, and I'm going to execute that if that happens here today. So definitely disappointing price action so far here at 317, but we know the story. We read the press release. We listened to the conference call. Probably some jitters about raising money. But I'm holding my position, and we'll look for opportunities to add more. Okay, so let's see. NBIS, IMRX, INVZ. Air is just taken off on that news. Let me see here. I bought some Air this morning. I alerted the Discord when I bought that Air at $17.80. I think I'm going to flip those out, those common shares out. We have the call options. Actually, no, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell the 1750 calls. Air 1250 calls, 1750 calls are now, yeah, I'm going to sell the 1750 calls right here. And I think I'm actually going to get all out of the 1750 calls. Not a big gain on that, 35%, is it? Let's see where, yeah, about 35% gain. We got in the day before Christmas, I believe it was, as we did for most of our January effect plays. So taking profits on Air, $17.50 calls right there. Okay. AirB bouncing back. IMRX hasn't found its bottom yet. Not worried. Fubu looking great. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, folks. All right. All right, let's see. Let's find the bottom here. Let's dig in.
Yeah.
Still going down.
Not huge
5-minute
size in
chart.
it. So.
What's that?
I said I'm not in huge size, so it's a plus.
Yeah, let's see. Still going down. 1-minute chart. See if we can find this. See if we can find the bottom here. I think the only person who's selling here, there's an offering coming. Is it tonight? Is it tomorrow? I don't know. People participating in the offering are probably shorting. They'll cover on the offering, but that doesn't, I don't think that makes this a sell. I still think this is a buy despite those dynamics. All right, so I'm just going to wait, see if we get much lower. I'm not going to add more now because I'm in heavy at this point. So if we get like much lower, if we get like below 3 or 250 to 270, something like that, then I might add. Yeah, I think I'll add in that area. So I'm just going to hold off. All right. All right, let's see. Fubo over 6. What was the target I gave the community yesterday? 750 was the target, I believe. Yeah. All right, I know Godfather has a target of fair value over 10. I had a technical target of 750, which, wow, where is it even? Ooh, where'd I get that 750 target? Let's see. Well, we have this wick up here at 818. 750. Where the heck was my 750? I don't even know where it was anymore. Here it goes. Okay, 814, 814, 814. Maybe it's 814, folks. It must. I think there was a gap somewhere at 750. But maybe it's 814. I can't even find where that 750 was now. Okay. In any case, we're up 23%, still holding. Look at that. All right. Beautiful. So that dulls the pain a little bit from IMRX. Still having a glorious day, I believe. Let me just double check. Yep. Still having an incredible day. Up about 10% in the trade account. Up 10% on the trade account for the day to a new high. Okay, so imagine if IMRX rebounds where we'll be, right? Look at this, oversold in this 1 minute. Okay, looking good. Maybe we found the bottom on IMRX here, folks. That's just a lot of oversold. All right, it's 9:41. I'm gonna start throwing MOB to the top. We gotta start looking at that with the CEO coming up in 15 minutes. All right, so we got that up there. Fubo looking. I think I'm gonna start shaving some Fubo here. FUBO on my trade position, not my long-term position. I'm gonna take some profits on Fubo on my trade position right here at $6.29. All right, done. All right, let's see what else we got here. NBIS looking superb. ARBA bouncing back. We just got to find the bottom here on IMRX. Quick didn't work today. It's a good thing I only got like 100 shares in Webull. Got lucky on that. Tesla turns around, so may have had the wrong thesis on that, at least for today. And NVIDIA's flat. Look at that. All right. Anyway, those are long-term changes I made this morning. These are other companies partnering with NVIDIA last night that were presented in the presentation as Micron and Toyota Motor and Logitech and Accenture. All right, so you can take a look at that. Here's some robot stocks, microcap ones, MBOT and RR and Serve and iRobot. They're all down. Not in any of these. Look at TMDX, still going up. Beautiful. Wow, that might be a 2,000% gainer. Let's see. Let's see what this TMDX looks like now. Let's throw TMDX to the top. Keep a closer eye on TMDX. TMDX up 1,700%. That was the best January effect pick, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Did you follow me on any of those call options on TMDX?
I did not follow you on call options on it, no. Sadly.
All right. I can know. We gave the alerts. All right. I even gave the specific contracts that I bought on that too.
Yes, you did.
Okay. MBIS looking superb. A little bit of regret that I didn't add more on the number one pick of the day. Good job between you and the Godfather, making sure this was our number one pick of the day. It's actually has had one of the best charts from the pre-market levels. That and Fubo. Looking pretty good. And TMDX, which we didn't pick for the day, but it's doing great.
Just picked up some calls on the video.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. That could be a good trade. Yeah, pullback. I think people are going to be adding this like I did to their long-term accounts.
Yeah, that's
buying the pullback. Buying the pullback makes sense there.
Yeah, quick trade.
Wow. NBIS, unbelievable. NBIS, that's looking great.
Godfather's here.
Oh, the Godfather's here. All right, we'll give him a second to settle in, and then look at Hims had some upgrades this morning. This is great because we have Hims in our wheel account. That's great. It's going to get cold away from us this week. Perfect. That's what we want. I don't want to be holding stock in our wheel for too long. really don't want to ever be holding stocks. Just want to sell the puts and collect the cash. But this was put to us, and we decided to hold it. Sold the 27 calls expiring this week. So thankfully, that stock is going to get called away hopefully this week, and we'll have more capital to sell puts on in our wheel account. By the way, Rhett, if you can put up the information how people can join our Discord, that is another service we offer. We call it the Story Trading Yield Optimized Wheel, YOW. Just a few tricks we do on there that we think improves our returns. All right, Godfather, give me a thumbs up if you're ready and you want to jump on for a few minutes. Backstage. Yeah, he is. All right, let's bring Godfather on. Good morning. How you doing?
Morning, guys. Good. How are you?
What a day. I'm doing brilliant.
Nice,
I'm so excited.
nice buy the dips here this morning. I got my M-bot at 250. Actually paid 254, but happy with that. That was the key bounce level yesterday. Same thing again this morning. This bounce right off of the open on ARBE provided a nice entry as well. So don't forget that the warrants are relatively liquid there, trading 225,000 shares already today. So
nice.
RR bounce back. It's a sign of strength there.
Yeah, look at this robot microcap RR bounce back pretty good.
Yeah, not a high quality company, but clearly a retail focused name. So you got to trade what you see. There's some good opportunities there. The biggest bomb in all of this in terms of company financials is KITT. So it's nice to see that that's at least down and some of the quality names are up. I put EKSO, which makes exoskeletons. You saw that in the NVIDIA presentation last night on my list. I'm going to do some digging.
No, I've heard of
that.
this. I know this company. And there's
flyer starter position.
Yeah, there's what's the other exoskeleton company?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you buy a little bit, put it on your radar screen, and then fill in the work and see if it's worth doing better. But my largest position, NBIS, I see you guys made that a top pick here this morning. I think that's a very good call. Unfortunately, we didn't get Jensen to actually say the words NBIS and partner together, but I think the people connected the dots here to access all of this power of the NVIDIA chips through the cloud. You basically need professional hosters for all of this, and that's where these guys come in. So very well positioned, and the Crossroads piece, I think, centered a lot of people's attention on the name in the last couple of days with their $100 target.
I just bought more IMRX right here at $299. They're going to raise money, but I think it's going to be on really good terms. And after the raise is done, it'll just explode. That's my opinion. I don't know. We'll see. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that it could be one of those situations where it actually rises on an equity raise. The thing is, they often provide some decent terms to get strategic shareholders in, and if you see the smart money biotech names on that shareholder list, that usually causes a double after they got their 13 Gs and 13 Fs.
And they have, and this little company has some great analyst coverage with some big reputable shops covering them, as you brought to my attention initially back in September.
Yeah, I kept a tiny piece all the way through here. Haven't done anything with it. It's just so small that I'll keep it. Hopefully it becomes a $20 stock one day. But I'm just not doing too much in biotech with all the AI derivative plays kind of taking the focus these days. I am adding a little bit more to OpFi on this weakness here again this morning.
There's more weakness again today, huh?
Started selling, but it is still red, so I'm taking it as a further opportunity to add.
Right. Oh, it's not below yesterday's low. It's just a little morning pullback here. Not too bad.
I still think that the opportunity in those warrants could be one of the best trades of the year. This whole fintech theme in terms of
the warrants,
warrants on OpFi.
Oh,
on
OpFi. Yeah. I got some of those. I've had them for a couple months.
What the power of AI has done for these guys in terms of loan losses is an amazing combo to what they're seeing in terms of net interest margin with the steepening yield curve here. So all the fundamental drivers are still in place in that group, and I think it's going to be
so that MU add to the MU add to the retirement account. The MU add to the retirement account is looking great right now, doing well. IMRX not doing well. Still not worried though. All right. Let's see here. What was it? Someone just asked about is NBIS extended. Progressive asks here at 33.92. Well, I had like my next target was $34. Yeah, that's a gap right there. A gap fill 34, but it broke that gap fill earlier and then pulled back. But RSI is not overbought yet. And what's this candle right here? The top of this candle is 34.43. So maybe actually 34.40. If it breaks 34.43, I think you can quickly see 38 plus again this week.
If you are trading this intraday, it does have a tendency to give up its early gains. So you can often sell first thing in the morning and buy back cheaper. That has been the pattern of trade of this thing for the last several trading sessions. Yeah. I'm not doing that. I'm fully loaded and I'm holding this for the long term. But yeah, it does provide those kind of intraday opportunities.
Nice. All right, we got that was a good sale on IMVZ this morning at 305. Wow. So we got MOB. Oh, look at TMDX. Oh, you didn't play the TMDX idea, did you, Godfather?
I did not because, and again, it's my own bias. I looked at it, and as beaten down as it was, the valuation was still too high for me. But you were right. Your call was that there's too many guys that are in love with this business plan, and irrespective of the valuation, they'll buy this off the bottom, and that's exactly what they did. So kudos to you.
Yep. Thank you. That was great. Probably that may have been one of my best calls ever. Up 2,000% on those call options. Okay, so MOB CEO coming up here in just 9 minutes. I got the questions he sent me. I'm not sure how much of those I can get to, but I will do my best to get to some of those. This is going to be very interesting. I'm very interested in learning more about this.
This morning, my key question is going to be. Are they working with more than one of the tier one suppliers to the DoD? And what sort of customer concentration does this existing tier one player? Because this is quite clearly in the headline, it's a follow-on production scale order. So this isn't their first order from this client. So
it's not. One thing that strikes me when production scale for drones, it's only 600,000. Like it seems small. Like, I don't know, when we see production orders for air test systems, it's in the multi-millions of dollars, and this is a huge industry. So how is production scale to like tier one customers, U.S. Israeli military, like 500,000-600,000 at a shot, and doesn't it seem small? Like, what are they selling? How cheap is the unit cost on these things they're selling?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual unit cost of this specific piece of hardware is, or whether the contract encompasses a larger suite of their products, or whether it may just be in this case because they're a subcontractor to this tier one supplier. They're just providing this one component, which is why it looks small, but the actual volume of the drones that it's going into might be relatively large. So, there's going to be some customers where they're providing their full suite of services, right? Right from the software, to the controllers, to some of these other digital link hardware pieces. In this case, it looks like just the digital link hardware piece. But the fact that this is going, ultimately to the world's largest military wallet is, I think, really quite impressive and significant, which is why I'd like to know, how many entrants into that wallet do they have in terms of being a potential subcontractor to tier one suppliers to the DoD.
By the way, IMRX, I'm just reminded of the initial price action when they first had the good data back here. It was September 13th, and it was a closed green candle on the first day, right? Which means you close lower than you open. And then look what happened on day two. All right, so you closed here at 202, and then you hit 383 the next day, much higher than the previous day. So it doesn't necessarily mean anything here fundamentally, or that the market doesn't like the news. Sometimes it takes a day. Me are efficient, and when you have game-changing inflection point news, you get a rapid re-rating the same day, and that usually happens. You've seen me enough to know that I've been nailing a lot of those. But sometimes, for whatever reason, it takes a day or two for the market to react to inflection point news. it could be because of this overhang of a possible offering here tonight that's causing it. All right, 9:54.
Interesting action in the quantum names this morning. Was wondering, coming off of the NVIDIA presentation, with this technology being so good and so real time in terms of a lot of these products already shipping, what did this mean for the quantum names? And I see really, the only quantum name that has anything significant is IO and Q, and the next quality name is probably RGTI. These are down. Well, I and Q is actually up. RGTI is down, some of the least. But some of these other players that are well behind in terms of technology, seeing some weakness here this morning, which is, it's nice to see something that logically makes sense actually taking place in the market. So I'd like to see a continuation of that. There's a lot of air in some of those bubbles.
Okay, I'm just changing the
Plus
banner
some short
here.
QUBT. So
where's this other banner, Rhett? Oh, here. I'm going to remove this one. Where's the mob CEO one I just put up now? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, it's this one. Okay, let me change this to static for a second. All right, so mob CEO interview Oren Elkayam at 10 a.m. Coming up in just a few minutes. Okay. So I'm gonna handle the interview on my own, Godfather. If I get it through quickly, or if he has a willingness to stay on a little bit more, I'm going to bring you back on the back end of it.
just flip me to backstage, and then I'll come on. I don't want to clutter things up.
Backstage. It's my first time interviewing him, so I'm not sure how much time we'll have to get into the deep dive nitty-gritty questions. I want to get to know him first in the big picture, so it's going to take a good 10-15 minutes before we get into the details. All right, let's see. Man, that Nari trade was ridiculous. I wish I had more of those, huh? Is the market pulling back?
Yeah.
A pretty sharp drop there, yeah. All right, got 3 minutes. Don't see Oren yet. Let me just double check my email to make sure he doesn't have any questions. Oh, did we change the title? Oh, I did. Okay, let me change the title to, okay, drones. So we're gonna do drones. Change that to drones, CEO interview. Got that. Thank you, Progressive. I love doing interviews. I think I have a pretty good knack at doing CEO interviews. So, one of the things I do, one of my tricks is I don't plan too much. I like go with the flow. I have like topics, because if I have like specific questions and I go down the list, it gets like really, really tedious and boring. I just have some topics and I just go with the flow, and I like to be challenging and a little charming at the same time, and see if we can get some inside info. So let's see what happens with that. Okay. IMRX definitely disappointing here today. Wow. Call this an opportunity. 273. I'm going to hold this until tomorrow if I have to, and hold through an offering, if there's going to be an offering. Wow, look at these big pullbacks. Wow. Good thing I took profits on a lot of stuff, but let me see. ARBE, though. ARBE. A little bit more.
All right, Ben. I'm going to put myself in the back. Let me know if you need anything.
All right. Raj has a question. I guess I think he's in the Discord. Asking you, Rhett, which NVIDIA calls you were looking at.
Oh, yeah. Let me check them out. It was Pull them up. I picked up the 149 calls for this week.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Our CEO of Mob has entered the backstage, so let me get ready for that. Let's just change this banner here. Mob CEO interview Oren Elkayam. Put that there. All right, we got over 3,000 people here. Let me remove this screen. Oren, you're backstage here. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready. I can't hear you. You're backstage. Just give me a thumbs up so I know to bring you on. Okay, great. All right, let's start with a little intro music and we'll go. All right, welcome, Oren Elkayam, CEO of Mobilicom, MOB. So excited to have you here, Oren. We got over 3,000 live people watching on X and on YouTube. People have been following us know we've been in this drone space since the summer. RCAT, RedCat Holdings, UMAC, all these names. We research these companies in depth. We've been interviewing the CEOs. We've been early, made a ton of money on these companies. And I came across your company, Oren, Mobilicom, and I just want to get to know you because it's a little bit hard to find out information about your company. You have a great website, I have to say. Tons of information on your website, but it is like a foreign listing. So let me just start, Oren, with some corporate kind of questions. If you can tell us, you have is it Israel, Australia, or USA, right? Where is your company located? When were you founded? How many employees do you have? What's the history of the company, just from a corporate overview structure, if you can tell everyone about that?
First, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to speak with the listeners and everybody on the financial community. It's always a pleasure. So thank you very much for having me. With regard to your question, yes, I understand it's a little bit confusing. Mobilicom is an Australian incorporated company that has subsidiaries in the United States and in Israel. The R&D center is in Israel. A lot of the sales and activity of the business size and marketing and other is done in the United States. And we are active across mainly US, Europe, and Israeli markets, but also serving other countries.
So you're located yourself in the U.S.? You have offices in the U.S. or where?
Yes, we are located in the United States together with additional team members that are serving our customers over here and part of the expansion of Mobilicom into the United States, both to the government as well as to the commercial markets.
Okay, so basically the corporate, the C-suite, it sounds like, is in the U.S. and the R&D is in Israel?
So some of the C-suite is over here and some of the C-suite is located in other places. We are an international company. In day one, you are building startups to be international, and this is what we've done.
Got it. And what's going on in Australia? Any operations there, or what?
Yes, we've done the Australian activity came up history-wise when we've been approached by the Australian Stock Exchange that wanted to take some tech companies and establish some tech sector in Australia. It was a great opportunity for us to get funding in order to bring products to the market and take the mature technology we had back then, but facilitate different products and grow the product activity that we've done and approach with it to the drones and focus on the drones and robotics market. So that was good on that side. Obviously, it wasn't as expected on the financial side, as Australia is not a tech economy. In general, it's not US or Israel or some other countries that you have a vibrant, big tech economy. So it was good to some aspects of the business, but wasn't as expected on the other aspects of the financial markets.
So you're listed in Australia as well?
No, we are not listed. We've been an Australian listed company.
Okay.
Then we registered in middle of August 2022 and done public listing front door in the Nasdaq, and then I've delisted the company from Australia. It's still incorporated in Australia. It's important for us from different subjects of exports and selling worldwide, but we are not listed in Australia anymore.
So as far as the employee breakdown, if you don't mind giving an idea, like how many employees in each country? Just want to get a flavor of.
So Umbilicum is about 40 people worldwide. We have the majority of the R&D and operation for the production or some of the production management in Israel. Sales is distributed across United States. Sales, marketing, the business people, the business development are based in United States mainly, and then we have Europe and Israel as well, as Israel is a hub of creation for drones and robots and so forth, and cybersecurity, which we are a piece of. And then we have corporate and finance people in Australia as well.
Okay, got it. And I see your reporting is, I think, every 6 months. Is that accurate? And any chance that can change every quarter?
So I'm a great believer in having a constant discussions with the investor community. As a foreign issuer, we are obligated to report on a 6 month base. I'm a believer on reporting on a quarterly base because it gives me opportunity to discuss it with investors. I just have to convince people on the board that this is the right thing to do.
Okay.
And what I do in the meantime is I'm having regular webinars with investors. I'm having non-deal roadshow all the time. I'm accessible to investors on my, WhatsApp and SMS and phone, and I'm visiting across the United States every second month at least.
Okay. All right, great. So let me give our listeners an overview of why I invited you on here and how I found you guys. MOB, you take a look. I mean, when I did the research on this, within 5 minutes, I was blown away. I'm like, wow, this looks to me like it's the most undervalued, undiscovered drone stock on the market. A couple things really struck me. Oren, and you can expand on this or correct me if I'm wrong, but the first thing that struck me was for a small company, market cap size, you have a lot of net cash, which is rare, right? I think it was like when I found you, it was something like a 20 million market cap and 10 million in net cash, something like that, which really kind of blew me away. And not only that, but you're not burning a lot of cash either. So that's extremely rare to find. And then the other thing that really struck me is, when you look at your website, you see and do the research, not just the website, the press releases, the SEC filings, you have a lot of tier one customers. It looks like you sell to the U.S. military, Israeli military. If you look at your C-suite, looks like you have a very talented C-suite. You have a lot of products. It looks like there's a lot of proprietary technologies you guys have developed over the years. Honestly, when I'm just browsing your website and looking at that, I'm like, this doesn't look like a $20 million company. This looks like a company that's worth at least $100 million. That's the impression I got just by looking at it. So I was just blown away. How can there be like a 20 million market cap, 10 million cash? What do I have wrong?
Well, it's always an uphill battle for CEOs of a micro cap like we were, that is moving from Australia to US to get the audience. My biggest issue is I don't need people to meet with me in order to give me cash or money or funding. I just need them to know about the company, cover the company, and get the same exposure that we have on the financial market like we have on the business and tech market. And yes, you are right. And thank you for the introduction, because it's an enigma. We are on uncharted territory from the fact that we are a company that has quite a lot of technology, IP and know-how in-house, fully developed in-house. All the IP or most of the IP is granted in the United States and already given, and all of that is not translated into the value of the company. I can think of the fact that we came during 2022, a very, let's say, challenging year for the NASDAQ. From Australia, it wasn't a regular path forward in the best timing, but we are right now starting, and I'm emphasizing starting to be getting the notion or the the knowledge about the company spread out, and that interviews like that are really important for me to access all the investors, at least to ask questions, learn about it, and as you said in other interviews, buy one share and follow the company.
So that was not me. That was my buddy Tim. But in any case, there's a couple nuggets of. First of all, you had this morning a press release, secure 600,000 follow-on production scale order from one of the largest U.S.-based drone manufacturers for its cyber-secure drone data link system. Right, that press release came out this morning. I do want to ask you about that in a second. But some other interesting tidbits that I found here. I'm going to just read from different press releases and SEC filings that I found. You have here, this is evidenced by our recent design wins and pilot projects, such as our cybersecurity solution being chosen by Israel's Ministry of Defense for its small-sized drone program, and the integration of our technology and offerings into the U.S. Department of Defense for soldiers' next-generation wearable tactical AI-enhanced mission kits. Again, really impressive information. It sounds like over here, talking about the order backlog as of June 30th was 700,000, and it's expected to be fulfilled in the second half of 2024. You had a note, backlog increased substantially following the end of H1. You also had here, adoption of our drone technologies are increasingly gaining traction in a high-growth market. We believe the favorable market dynamics at this time for military and civilian drone and robotics indicate Mobilicom will have a strong 2025. Our current customers include 8 tier 1 leading manufacturers of SUAVs. We currently have over 50 customers in 18 countries. Our partners and customers, Israel Aerospace Industries, Airbus, Elbit Systems, Teledyne, Tomahawk Robotics, Raphael Technologies, ST Engineering, the Israeli Ministry of Defense, and more. Again, I look at all this, I'm like, how is this just a $20 million company? If you can, if you want to, you can expand on that. But I'm interested in learning more about the R&D that's been put in this company and what is it you offer, right? In terms of, is it proprietary? Is it software? Is it hardware? Again, when I look at your website in the C-suite, it looks like you have a lot of proprietary technology. Am I accurate about that? Can you talk about your technology and how it is proprietary, if it is, and how it compares to the competition?
Definitely. So I think that what Mobilicom does in a nutshell, we provide the critical systems of software, cybersecurity, and hardware that are the cores of any drones and robot out there. So while others are providing one of those drones or robots that can do some mission, we focus on giving the critical building blocks, the IP, the most expensive, the most critical technology-wise elements to the drones or robotics manufacturer. So we are providers of for the drone community and robotics community. What differentiate Mobilicom from anybody else is while many companies focus on providing either the drone or one of the building blocks, we decided early on to be the end-to-end provider of several key systems to the drones or robotics. In a nutshell, we are very much like Bosch or Continental in the vehicle market, where you always know about Audi, Mercedes, BMW, and so forth. But if you open the hood, most of the car system, expensive car system, are coming from Bosch and Continental and such likes. And we would like to be that for the drones or robotics market, understanding that as the market will become more and more solid and mature market, we will see that they will need a strong partnership behind them in order to fulfill generation after generation and scale and move forward. And this is what we do. The second thing that separates us from everybody else is the fact that we focus on cybersecurity. Very early in the game, we understood that cybersecurity is a critical aspect, that if it was critical in IT of companies, and then the cloud, and then Industry 4.0, and the area of medical, it cannot skip the drones, robots, and autonomous platform. In fact, there will be the most vulnerable elements that will suffer from that. And we decided that in every aspect that we bring to the game, it doesn't matter if it's our communication pieces or control terminal or our cloud elements and so forth, cyber will be an essential piece of that. And recently, we also released a dedicated packages of software which are only cyber. One is against electronic warfare and cybersecurity of the data link, the communication between the drone and its operator. And second, which is the innovation that we released this year, is how do you secure, protect, and make safe the operation of the NVIDIA AI machines that serve those drones or robots. And that was the new innovation. So in a nutshell, we provide the critical systems of software, cyber, and hardware to drone manufacturers as an end-to-end one-stop shop. And the focus of the company is around the cybersecurity.
So a question about today's press release here. It says $600,000 order, tier 1 production scale. That's the order number seems low to me. I want to get maybe an appreciation. What is it you sell? Are these unit costs really small? Because this is a huge market. You know, the amount of drones they're building is just exploding. And, you know, in other businesses I've invested in, other spaces, you know, when you're selling production orders to tier 1, you're talking about multi-million-dollar contracts. So these are a little surprisingly low to me. If you can give us a little insight into that and what it will take to see like a multi-million-dollar order. Is that something that's possible?
Yes, definitely. So let's first understand the business methodology of the Mobilicom. We are in the business of designing, meaning that we have to seed our critical systems within the design of new drones or existing drones by different vendors. It's either one of the hardware solutions, which are the telecommunication or the communication links to serve single drones or fleet of drones or swarms of drones, or the ground controllers, or the elements that protect them, secure them, and like the cyber and the electronic warfare suit and so forth. And in such case, we are able to succeed when those players are scaling in the market, because we are investing heavily with them, seeding our solution for months. Sometimes it can take 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, until we are, from the moment that we are picked up until they have a mature platform that they can start selling and promoting in the market. In the defense market, they also have to win different programs and be seeded into different programs like SRR that RCAT enjoyed and others.
That was my next question, but go ahead.
Yes. I will touch into that. And then as they are scaling, we are scaling with them. So our business model depends on the success of the different OEM manufacturers we are embedded with. So the fact that we moved, so this tier 1 American player, which is a giant company, one of the 3 biggest in the small size drones or robotics space, they're working with us for the last, I think, 3 years. They chose us over 4 competitors after thorough testing in the field. And Mobilicom solution for their specific drones, small size drones, is the communication device, the Skywarper element, which is a secure cognitive radio between the drone operator and the drone itself, and sometimes multiple drones if needed. And over there, so we have at least 2 or 3 elements in each system they are selling. And in such deals, they have moved, after they certified the solution with the defense, the DoD of United States, they have moved in 2023, late 2023, to initial production to supply and seed the market. So we had a sequence of orders that didn't come for additional R&D and testing and validation, immediately to seed the market. So we had one in Q3 2023, and Q4 they double it. In Q1 they had a bigger one, in Q2 a bigger one, and this is the last one that we got this end of this year, last year, beginning of this year. That is a sequence that shows the growth of the initial production of this company, and that signal to the market that there is ongoing continuous seeding and scaling. And to the matter of fact, they are already on the front or the short list of multiple programs of record. You know, you probably heard the term program of record from RCAT, from Alan, or from Jeff, or from others, which is the holy grail of this industry, because it guarantees many years of budget allocated to your program. So this partner of ours is already shortlisted for numerous programs, and we just need them to win one If they will do 2, we are very successful. They are one of the leaders in this market and a giant company in the United States. The chances that they will win.
So wait, back up there. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. You said we just need them to do 1. What does that mean? What I want to understand the potential in 2025, because to me this is the year of the drones, right? We're going to see revenue explode at RCAT. In the year 2025 for you this year, is there the potential for you to have hockey stick growth and win, very large contract? And can you fulfill that? What's your, in terms of what you can fulfill and scale by? Just touch on that a little bit. I want to get an idea for the potential for your company if we get some bigger contracts.
Great. So some of the programs that they're embedded in are programs of SOCOM, Special Command Forces, or the Marines, which are programs that are like OPFL, known program, you can follow that, or programs of the GOPS of United States, and there are several others. Those are the numbers behind that are known. It's in the thousands of systems to begin with, and you can multiply thousands of systems and extend. Just to give you some, small indication. So 1,000 system, which is a very low number, will provide us between $3 to $5 million, and 5,000 system will give us $15 to $20 million just from this initial single solution inside. We believe that as an end-to-end provider, we can cross-sell our cyber and software elements, and by that double or triple the elements inside, and have higher revenue from each one of the customers.
So is this
the potential immediately from those customers? From
this
okay. One customer, actually.
One customer, 5,000 systems. You said would be 15 to 20 million. Is that what I heard?
Of the Skyhopper elements.
Okay, and that's something that you're bidding on. What's the process? Where are you in that, and what's the timeline of when that might happen for you?
So for that, this customer and others that we have from the tier 1 blue chip companies that are our customers, we don't control the pace and timing, especially when they are selling to governments in Europe, in Israel, in US. What we can say is that what are the chances that they will win? And you can see the names behind our company and believe that the chances for them to win 1, 2, 3 of those programs worldwide are definitely high.
And is that this year? Is that the timeline for that in 2025? Or?
I don't want to commit on timing of the government, but I believe that in 2025 they should get a program. This is my belief. They should get.
But that's one of your customers, right? Do you have any other possibilities besides that one?
Yeah, so it will take the tier 1, the US tier 1 giant company we're working with. We believe that, they believe that in this year they will get programs that will scale their production. In fact, they have, until recently, we shipped all the elements to their R&D centers that did the initial quantities to seed and deploy that into the US DoD and government. And right now we are shipping to the production side they've built only to fulfill the next ramp up needs. So if someone like a giant company in the New York Stock Exchange is building facility to scale up their production in the United States, that speaks volume about their intention of winning that. But in addition, there is other programs that we are seeded in. There is the RAID program, RAID, which is the Future Backpack Soldier NVIDIA-based communication and AI device, which were chosen as part of other vendors to be part of. And if that will, it's in testing, if that will move to initial production or scalability, that means enormous potential. It's the backpack of every platoon or every soldier group of soldiers. So you understand the volumes of it. So we have multiple alleys where we have government or OEM, large ones, that can scale their production. And the sequence that you see just give you the indication that it's not one of thing, that they continue in production, scaling their production. Like anything, if you look on a Ford car or anything else, there is sampling, and then there is initial production lots, which and then accelerate from quarter to quarter to quarter, and then scale to mass production. We are
and you get one of these big orders. Can you fulfill that now? You have the facilities and the employees, or would you need to expand or debt? What's the plan to fulfill on a big order?
Thank you for for the question. It's important to understand the production of Mobilicom. Mobilicom is mainly on the tech side, the IP, the design, and making the technology which we own. The production, we are using third-party contractors that we have long-term relationship with that knows our solutions. We give them the drawing and the information how to design our hardware pieces. They are doing it for us. We have multiple of those. We are able to produce and done it in the past in United States, Israel, and Philippines. We chose specifically areas that you can scale production, like Philippines, which are NDAA approved, being an ally of United States is very important for us. We didn't go to China like many others, and that give us the capability to scale production and maintain gross margin, because expectations are that customers, as you move to the thousands and thousands of systems, will require or need cost reduction, but we are able to compensate on that by able to manufacture, and we've done it already in the Philippines and such like. So this is the production scalability. We can do in United States if someone would like 100% US-based production, which will be more expensive, obviously. But those are the issues.
Would you need to raise capital to fulfill a big order?
I don't believe that big order is needed for that. There is different vehicles that we are usually getting. The bill of material of let's go backward. Most of our products are hardware and software based, and some of our products are the innovative ones. The new ones that we released recently are software solely or cybersecurity. There is no production over there. You understand that there it's easier for us to fulfill it, and the SaaS model is kicking in. But on the hardware pieces, which is heavily embedded by software, so the hardware part is about 20% of the entire thing. So it's not a cost-effective element. And then when we pour inside our wisdom and IP and the software inside, that becomes the product. So it's heavily seated with software. So therefore, the need for capital is not high because the portion of the hardware is still small in comparison to the entire product. And therefore, we don't expect that scaling production will require us we don't need to invest in any production site, and we don't have to have a hungry capital for that. You can see that from last year, from 2023 to 2024, we jumped in the numbers, and our production investment didn't move a dime. The same team is doing it. We didn't move one person more in order to do it.
Nice. That's good to know. I have two more questions for you. And then if you have time, if you can stay maybe a couple extra minutes, I want to bring my colleague on, the Godfather, his backstage. He has a couple questions for you quickly. But okay, RCAT, Red Cat Holdings, right? Every company this Red Cat has touched, their stock has turned to gold, right? They have public press releases with partnerships with OPTT, UMAC, PDYN, all of their stocks exploded. It seems like everyone's looking at RCAT as that 500-pound gorilla in the small drone space now. And, they have this SRR win, which looks pretty huge. Is there any opportunity for you to win any business when they fulfill this SRR contract? Does Red Cat need to rely on you for any of those components to deliver that contract?
Right now, Red Cat doesn't need Mobilicom to fulfill the hardware delivery of their drones. And we are able to work with any one of the drone manufacturers, Red Cat, Anduril, Teledyne, FLIR, AeroVironment, and such like, and all the other big names around the world. What I can say is pay attention to Mobilicom's cybersecurity suite of solutions, which is the biggest innovation that we released this year, which is not matchable by anyone else in this industry. And then understand that the IP and technology and solution we have in hand, we started with the communication, we have ground control stations, we have mesh for a swarm and fleets of drones, which is the future, and cybersecurity, which is the only way to protect the platform against all the malicious and vulnerabilities out there that you see by the Russian, Iranians, and others. We are the sole solution right now in the market that can have active protection on small-sized drones. There is no matchable solution which is based on the standard in the United States that is already in the market. Pay attention to this innovation, because I believe that very much like that they will need PDYN to be on the front of their drones in the future. They're not mandatory to have PDYN, but they could enjoy PDYN capabilities on the AI. Mobilicom cybersecurity is critical to many of those players. And this is where I see one of the growth of Mobilicom and the hidden valuation that no one sees in Mobilicom. And that's the important thing, because we can fulfill our elements in any one of the drone manufacturers, RCAT and others. We can be another source for their elements inside, but more than anything else, we are leaders in the cybersecurity. There is no player that issues such a solution to the market yet.
So is there like a pipeline, or can you give us some color? Who, are you speaking to folks? What's the timeline on maybe winning some of these cybersecurity contracts?
So the cybersecurity solution, the OS3, the operation system security, safety, and compliance, was something that we revealed to the market only in the summer this year. We have launched that. We are bringing it into different integration and partnership and business in around the world. I think that very soon you will see different announcements on things that we've done and penetrations. I think that if in 2025 we can solidify and embed that across multiple players, that will be a big win for Mobilicom, because it's like we are the first company getting to Mars and putting our flags across different places. And this is what we're trying to do. And that will be one of the biggest moves Mobilicom can do for the drone space, making it safe and solving the problems that we can see right now in Ukraine, in Israel, and other places, and even to the industrial and commercial market. Bear in mind, you're going to have, we hosted some cybersecurity conference and been part of AVUSI, the industry leaders of drones or robotics worldwide, in another conference. And there was an energy company back then, one of the biggest in the United States, that said, hey, we are using heavily drones or robotics, but from the next year, we are not going to use drones that don't have cybersecurity protection like we have on other elements of our energy facilities, because that's dangerous and vulnerable to our business. And I've heard Siemens saying same things on different robotics they are using. And you understand that they cannot scale into commercial and businesses if they don't have the proper protection. Show me one company with protection. Show me one solution that have active, ongoing cybersecurity monitoring, detection, and prevention on their drones or robots.
All right. Man, I could go on for another hour, honestly, because I want to get a deeper idea of what you have coming, what the opportunities are this year. Well, maybe I have to do that a second time, but let me bring on my colleague, the Godfather, just for a couple quick questions. I know your time is limited.
I'm
Godfather,
here, I have time.
You have time. Okay, great. So go ahead. Godfather is an analyst in our Discord.
Hi, good morning, Oren. Thank you so much for being on. My question is with respect to the, I'm trying to model your company going forward, at least the next couple of years. Your most recent quarter was, or 6-month period was 1.8 million in revenue, which was a nice, 230% gain over the previous year, which, we're talking some fairly small numbers here. I guess what I'm trying to get a handle on is, in light of your comments with respect to the cybersecurity versus the data link hardware sales and so on, what sort of breakdown do you see between hardware and software in like 2025 and or in 2026, and what sort of run rate revenues would you think would be reasonable for the market to start thinking about for Mobilicom for 2025 and 2026?
Okay, so the majority of our sales right now are selling the hardware systems that we have, either the data link, the Scalper family of communication, or the networking that enables swarm and fleet, which is the next step of drones and robotics operation and revolution, and the ground control stations that enable the control of the mission by the operator. Those are the revenue generator today for Mobilicom. Those are elements that we seeded across the entire funnel of our customers, the tier 1, tier 2, in US, Europe, and Israel in the last 2-3 years. And that will sustain the growth of the company, the organic growth for 2025 and 2026. But the innovation, because we are sitting on a specific situation where we have deep knowledge and understanding of the needs of our customers and customers of customers, the government or the corporates behind that, we understood that cyber or electronic warfare protection suits, which are software solutions, and cloud are the next waves of things that we have to release. And those are pure SaaS model or software sales solutions. And those, what our intention is in 2025, I will define 2025 as a successful year, not just by the growth of production and winning of customers that we have, either new customers or the customers that we are having right now scaling in their production, which is my expectation, but also because we'll be able to seed the cybersecurity and software elements of innovation in order to cover and get market share before any competitor will enter this field. We have a unique position with groundbreaking technology ahead of everybody else in a market that we already have channels and reputation in, and we just have to seed it. If that will happen and we will have those partnership and seeding in 2025, that will be an enormous achievement for Mobilicom. I have good reasons to believe that it's achievable in 2025. I believe that we can do it sooner than later, and that will be showing significant growth into 2026, 2027. It will transition the company to be more heavily dependent on software and cyber, which will change dramatically the company position in the marketplace.
So just to elaborate on that further, when do you expect to be able to talk to the market about a significant design win for your cybersecurity OS?
I believe that we should ink and close the first things within the first half of 2025. This is what we are aiming for.
So I've seen statistics suggesting that.
Please.
Yeah, I've seen statistics suggesting that cybersecurity OS and data, all these communications elements all together, it's like an $8.5 billion TAM. So there's going to be some very large companies coming into play in this market. I presume, just in the same way you are doing with your hardware, partnering with the Elbits of the world and other tier one defense contractors, will it be a similar strategy in terms of your software, playing alongside or integrating with Palantir Solutions and other software suppliers to these markets?
So I think with the OS3, the Operation Security Safety and Compliance CyberPack solution, we have different allies and different go-to-market approaches. One of them is working with the NVIDIA AI partners and come from this ecosystem, because we are actually protecting and enabling the safe operations of the AI machines that are the heart of soul of any future autonomous or drone solution. So that will be one ally going forward. I think that partnering with companies which are providing the AI software, and there is multiple of those innovative companies in the defense and the commercial side, is another solution. And obviously, the third path is working with OEMs, because we are coming to the OEMs and say, hey, we give you two options. We are embedding our software cybersecurity on board your drone or robot. Okay, we can do that for free of charge. And then as you are selling it, you are enjoying portion of these sales. So you have yourself software or SaaS model revenue. And if the customer opt in and out and says we don't want it, you are reducing dramatically the probability of suit against cyber solution that will come to your drone. So who will say no? It's a win-win from both sides for those companies. And this is what we are trying to achieve. And on the industry side, we are bringing the much needed protection layer that doesn't exist today for small drones or robots to defend it against different hacking, malicious attacks, vulnerabilities, even operational vulnerabilities that happen regardless of malicious attacks. That doesn't exist today. It exists in different industries. It doesn't exist in the drones or robotics. So we have a working solution with innovation backed by big partners, which is already ready. We demonstrated that, and we are already enabling that to the market. And therefore, we see that as the biggest innovation that we can bring to this market as of today, in addition to all the assets we already have. And therefore, going backwards to your question, Ben, is people don't understand Mobilicom? No, people don't understand Mobilicom. Just the cybersecurity of the drones or robotics piece that we have going forward as a player that is meeting the standardization in the United States for that and being part of the standard activity and have a solution first to the market is mind-blowing as a solution. Is that valued in the company? Is that somewhere that you can see that we have a matching valuation like others, like PDYN AI or others that have innovative technology?
Got it. Sounds good. Godfather, you got anything else?
I know that you've got some tech partners. You called out one of your Silicon Valley partners. Was that in the controller?
Yes, we have understood that we have to be producing more and more US-based and US solutions. We always been non-Chinese production company that did the production in United States, Israel, or other places using systems and components which are safe, and we are monitoring that closely. And this time it was a cooperation with an American tablet and computer manufacturer, which is doing it here in the Silicon Valley, just next to me. And we partner in order to bring the next generations of ground control stations, which are NDA approved compliant, which is meeting the requirements of the US government and US allies, which is not needed. We are bringing this new capability, NDA approved, at a very affordable price point, which we believe is dramatic change to the market. If competitor solutions are bringing solutions in between $5,000 to $10,000, we are bringing the same thing under $4,000, and that's a big game changer to enable scalability. We're all about scalability. The market that we are seeing of small drones will scale if you have solid, good solutions made in US or US allies countries at affordable pricing that will enable scalability by the government and the commercial market.
Last question for me on the capital structure. You guys last reported 9.7 million in cash. You reported on the 24th of December that through some warrants that were in the money, you added another 1.2 million to the treasury. I'm wondering if there's an update since that in terms of in the money warrant conversions. And you know what, in the last quarter when you guys reported, you were pretty close to operating cash flow break even. A SaaS model going forward, one would expect the operating margin there would put you pretty close to a cash flow positive scenario. So with all this kind of cash, where's the company's focus in terms of organic growth, and what are your opportunities to augment that through inorganic or acquisition type opportunities? And if you did such an acquisition, what sort of bolt-on or enhancement technology would you look for?
So with regard to the cap table that you've mentioned, the numbers that you see right now on Yahoo Finance and others are not up to date. We have had some conversions of warrants, and those conversions of warrants, which are 1.55, increase the cash position of the company. And there is still warrants out there that were not fulfilled because the owners, the investors, are feeling very strong about the company, which is a very good sign from our perspective. But this is another opportunity to meet more money and to clean the cap table. So we have around 7.2 million ADS shares in the market. And then we have 1.3 roughly warrants in 1.5, and there are the traded warrants on the market. Other than that, the company has no convertibles, no debt, no working capital, not any loans whatsoever. So we are a very, very clean company. If you take the market cap of the company, subtract the cash position that we have, and then divide it by the revenue that we are making or the backlog that we already have for this year, you will be amazed that then the multiplier that we have is very ridiculous, and it doesn't take any of the future valuation of the company based on the cyber and the assets that we have, which we just discussed. So this is the cash position and how it's translated to the multipliers of the company. And if you compare it to UMAC, I mean, Usual Machines or PDYN AI or others, you will see that Mobilicom is ridiculously priced right now in the market, and we can go over the numbers and identify that. With regard to cash position, I said a year ago that with the cash that we had from the IPO, we are able to sustain at least 2 years in order to fulfill our strategy and have organic growth and get to the scalability of our business. I'm saying today that we still have more than 2 years to go on the current cash burn rate, which means that we are very, very sensitive to the expenses, and we are operating very carefully. And that's a great, again, great note for the investors to know that we are keeping the cash and monitoring that, and we don't need cash right now for our current strategy and fulfillment. And if we believe that some of our customers may get the orders or scalability this year, so it could be that we will not have to approach the market again, because around $10 to $12 million on the current company structure, we can be cash flow positive. And $10 to $12 million is few thousands of systems on our current solution on a gross margin, which is above 50, between 50 to 60 on the hardware pieces. Just imagine what will happen as the software and cyber will kick in, which is, let's say, 90% gross margin. And then you understand the potential of the growth of the company, not just as the market position, but also on the cash flow of the company and cash flow positive situation. Did I answer most of your question?
I guess the last question, or clarification on that, is the timeline. How long do you think it'll take to get to that sort of $10 to $12 million run rate at 60% gross margins that you mentioned before we, see really the kick in of the SaaS model?
So it's all entirely depend on the wins of our customers. I mean, the tier 1 and second tier players. There is a good chance, I believe, that this year they will get good news. And if they are getting good news, we are getting good news with them. We hope that will happen. I cannot predict timing on government business. It can be pushed by a quarter easily. But the chances of that happening this year, I believe, are good, very good. But I'm dependent on their wins. It's like Intel or NVIDIA inside elements of other players. And as they're succeeding, we are growing with them with no additional investment on our side. So I believe that this year should be shifting year for the company from the aspects of wins by our partners in the marketplace. And this is, as you said, in addition to fulfillment that we can do with our cybersecurity that will signal the market that this company is going for way beyond what we see today with the cybersecurity of the AI machines that we have as innovation.
Okay. Godfather, you good to go? Hello?
I could go on, but I'll leave it there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your answers.
I could go on too. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. Give Godfather a follow, guys, on Twitter, on X at SMantel, SMANTEL, who's also in our Discord. Oren, one last question from me, and then a question from the audience here, and then we'll let you go. So thank you so much for staying a little extra. When your 6-month period just ended, right? December 31st, is that right? And then when are you going to report? When?
So the reporting, I think, is due by March. And then this is the obligation, but we will always work towards shorting that time and reporting earlier.
Okay, cool. And then a question from the audience, and then we'll close it up after this. This is a very interesting question. I thought I'd bring it to your attention. From Craig, it says, please describe a worst case scenario that your customers would face without your technology.
I think that we are a critical system within the drones and robots that they are delivering. Many of those customers targeting the commercial or the defense market have to certify the platform either by FAA or by other, government agencies in the DoD. Once it's certified with Mobilicom solution inside, changing that will require them to do a very extensive engineering effort that will delay their time to market and do the entire certification all over again. So hiccups on that will cause a big disruption to their business. And once we are seed inside, it gives us opportunity to scale with them. So if their customers are not fulfilling that with us, it means that they have to do heavy investment on their side to change it. Yes, most of those customers will say that they are agnostic and can work with multiple players. But the fact is that with those critical elements that we are providing, getting to the results and performance requires very in-depth integration and testing and validation and maturity. So without our solution, it's a big delay, at least a big delay in their business, if not more than that.
All right, sounds good, Oren. Thank you so much for joining us. Godfather, if you can hang on in the back, hang on for a few minutes right after we close this out. I want to have a little chat publicly about what we thought about that interview. Thank you so much, Oren.
Thank you very much.
Yep, bye-bye. All right, and we're back, guys. Wow, that was a lot of information. Curious if anyone wants to share their first reactions to that.
Yeah, I'll go. Right now, I'm modeling just 4 million in revenue for 2025. I came out of that interview with the view that I'm probably quite low in that number. I think it's already being conservative. 1.8 million for the 6 months ended, annualizes with no growth to 3.6. And the multiples that you're seeing on the stock, especially with the stock down here at 430 this morning, suggests it's trading around 3.5 times, because we're over $1.40, probably closer to $1.50 now in net cash. So you take that off of the market cap to calculate your enterprise value. So he's right when he said you compare us to Paladin, you compare us to UMAC, and the valuation looks ridiculous. If indeed they can take that number up, somewhere closer to 5 to 7, which seems attainable, he wouldn't answer because they haven't given full guidance to the street about when he's going to get to this 10 to 12 number. And he's saying that's where they become cash flow positive. They're really not burning a lot of cash as it is now. So yeah, it's hard to find a company with this clean a capital structure, with this healthy a balance sheet, and with this low evaluation. And the fact that it's really about growing the software OS side of things, which is SaaS, is just where the high multiples are. If they could show that and a contract win, I mean, even look, their hardware isn't so bad at 60% gross margins. I mean, they can probably at scale see 20% type operating margins on that. But when they get the kicker of the software in, if that grows the way they expect it to, then your operating margin is probably going to mature somewhere in the 30 to 40% range. So, I think the other thing is they've got a unique position in the market. They're not a competitor for a lot of these people. They're an add-on to make the other people's hardware more secure effectively. So I like the positioning. I like the valuation. I like the balance sheet. I like the capital structure. You got to remember that the float here is still, it's even with the exercise of the warrants, probably maximum 5 million shares. And for some reason, there's about 1 million shares short. So you're talking about 20% short interest, which is crazy to me. I have no idea why you would want to short this.
Could it be the warrant holders that are short? Could it be the warrant holders that are short? Is it like a free short for them?
Yeah. Well, if you look at what was exercised, there's about 1 million. Yeah, it could be because there's about 1.5 million left. It's possible that these guys are shorting, but they wouldn't keep that position open that long. They could exercise and deliver in, close that out at a nice profit, and move on to the next thing. So,
Right. Yeah. I
It'll
mean,
be
the
interesting
way
to
I
see
look
when
at
that's
it,
updated in the next 2 weeks.
yeah, I think one word to describe this for me is optionality. The whole thing is just it's like a stock. I mean, it's limited downside. It's like free. It's like a free stock option. How do you like that characterization, Godfather? I don't know if he hears me well. Keeps
Hang
on.
on, I'm
Rhett, what
just
do you think?
buying some stock here.
Okay. What are you buying? MOB? All right, Rhett. While Godfather's buying some stock, he'll let us know what he just bought. Rhett, what do you think of that interview?
Yeah, it was interesting, especially with the cybersecurity questions and stuff like that. And there was also one right here. I'll put it up on the screen. Someone just put this out there as well. So you see that, Ben?
Oh, strong statement if they're the only cybersecurity play, and it may apply to non-military industries as well, as he alluded to. Oh.
We have one more.
Yeah,
From
advanced
someone
payment terms.
over
So,
there.
Godfather, was that MOB you were buying? What did you just buy there? Clue us in. I'll follow you.
I put in some bids. I put in some bids. Yes.
All right.
I have.
Okay. Anyway,
now of course it's starting.
Look, we've
Anyway.
been live. So we're gonna get going back to our Discord, storytrading.com/Discord. Also remember to follow S Mantel on X, Godfather SMANTL. He also has links and coupon codes to our Discord from his profile. So thanks everyone. Yes, I know IMRX is down big. We will talk about that and everything else. Apparently, I missed a big market swoosh and everything. So
Yeah.
no worries. We'll manage everything and we'll come out awesome on the other side. All right, guys. We'll see you on our Discord, storytrading.com/Discord. Take care.